There we go. Hi guys, we're live.
Hi.
We're just checking in, making sure everyone's doing all right, checking our audio and whatnot. I think we are pretty.
Let us know how we
good.
sound.
Everyone's watching NXT. So
I know I just found out 5 fucking minutes ago that NXT had a fucking pay-per-view. Though the biggest horseshit. We could have did a little like fucking. I'm not even watching it. I have no idea what's going on.
No, that would be a Jake thing. Ewan, do we sound okay? Ewan's here. He's in the chat. Give me a thumbs up if we sound okay.
Ewan, do you mind if I call you Ewan Jumia? Yeah, that's where we're gonna have a ball tonight.
Awful's coming in hot
tonight. Yeah, damn right.
Okay. I've not gotten a thumbs up from Ewan yet, but I don't care. I'm gonna assume we're okay.
Right.
We're backing out. And we will see.
Yeah, we just wanted to say hi and let you guys know that we'll be on in a few minutes. We've got some great topics, and of course your super chats and your comments, of course. So yeah, stick around.
It'll be a fun night. So we'll see you in a few. And
this is back. I don't have to hold the luggage of fucking Chris Connor. Lowest goddamn
time it drops, yeah, I'm gonna go all night. I got a suplex, no I'm doing it. When I came to fight, I got a figure four, yeah, I'll show you some more. With a big new 1, 2, 3, where the camel clutch, I know it must. You'll be getting the mercy of me. Gravity is my mistress tonight. Well, you know I'm gonna divide, 'cause I'm gonna bring you out the top road tonight.
On a foggy night, March 7th, Saturday, this is the This Is Awful show. I am your host, Awful Wrestling. Along with me, beside with me, next to me,
Holding hands.
Holding hands from 1,000 miles away. It is none other than the return of Akadis. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a warm round of applause. Hold on. Aka, are you going to tell us about what happened last week, my friend?
I mean, I covered it on Toonie Talk. I'm not going to get too deep into it here. We share quite a bit of an audience, but yeah,
Yes.
just you know,
he became Superman.
I had to go, jail stuff, and
Yes,
you
save
you can hear
Lois from dying.
that. I wouldn't call her that. I wouldn't call her that.
Now, see, you blew the cat out of the bag.
True, I did. I did that I did that before, though. How are you doing tonight, Awful? How's your day?
I'm doing great. The reason why I'm a little bit more boisterous, a lot of people over the last couple weeks have been like, you sound tired. Even this came up to me. He's like, dude, you sound kind of tired. It's just because I can't yell like I want to in my home. So I had to go to my workshop this week.
So
it's nice.
You moved.
Yeah, I moved. So, there's a lot more exuberance coming out of my mouth. I people are sleeping in my home. So, they don't want to hear about fucking Janelle Grant at 11:30 at night.
Oh, we're going to be hearing about more Janelle Grant tonight.
Yeah.
We
got go ahead. Run it down for us, this.
Oh, no, yeah, we got Janelle Grant. Oh, wait.
A question right at this particular time. Would
Sure.
you like to do that?
Ed Ewan ** super chatted $4.99. I want Danhausen versus the Ranker. Danhausen is no Blum Gold.
Thank you.
No,
you
he's not. Thank
you probably like Danhausen more than Glomgold. You're not a big Glomgold fan.
Only because I'm unfamiliar with Glomgold's game.
Right. he is the best character on that show. I'll say that much.
Okay.
But
I'm no longer 14 also. So that
you.
kind of helps.
Thank you very much, Ewan. And remember,
thank
all
you,
of
Ewan.
the
Awesome.
donations that you give us, they are counted up above us here on the screen. I'll move it so people can see it. I'll move it around and be like, oh, look right here. See, right there. And when we reach that 2,000 goal, me and Awful are getting new computers, and we're going to be doing stuff with it. Like, we're
going to go shopping together.
Yeah, we're going to go shop. Well, I mean, you did come up to me and talk to me, and we were holding hands. We're right next to each other. But no, we were talking about it on was it before or after? No, it wasn't after, because you left because you don't like us. But I think maybe before Toonie Talk, was it, or was it on Toonie Talk where he talked about how he wanted to do like a morning show at some point?
That would be so awesome. But here's the thing. It wouldn't be sadly, should I say, unfortunately, it wouldn't be a live show. I get, be recorded to tape. What are your thoughts?
Not necessarily. We could,
okay.
Dude, you catch, if we can find a weekday morning, people can listen to us at work or on the drive to work or something like that. I'd be down for it. I don't know if we can ever find the same weekday free, but I mean, it's a thought.
Yeah. We both don't parent Max. Sadly, for the people in the chat.
But we are going to be doing, that's the kind of stuff we want to do with that. Thank you, Ewan. Thank you for just spreading that and telling everybody. I appreciate that a whole lot, buddy.
Hey, Ewan, my own cousin doxed me last week. So if you are big fans or big haters of us and you mine deep enough into our episodes, kind of give us a super thanks,
you know
then
what
you'll be able to find out who our names are.
I forgot that I was already doxxed, right? So
Right,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
it's really not that big of a deal. But yeah.
You're a motherfucker.
That kind of stuff, honestly, I will say that kind of stuff does make me not want to tell like personal stories. Right?
It's true. So fucking
Because
true. More mystery, less history.
Well, it's because like when I'm sitting here and we want all of our shows to sound like we're just hanging out, having a good time, making jokes. When you do that, you're not thinking about like, oh, well, I don't want anyone to know. You know, it's like you're just hanging with your boys and talking, right? So when something like when it happens, you know, it's just we're just teasing you, Ewan. Don't worry about it.
I know, Ewan. Calm your ass down.
We're fine. We're all friends here. I think Ewan was a mod before Beard was on your channel. So
is that why he's got that crown at number one?
Well, no, that's because he's the top chatter, but he is a mod.
Okay.
So he could F your shit up, buddy. Not really.
But listen, besides him being a mod, well, there's also Admiral Narwhal. Lisa B, thank you guys for joining us.
Lisa is back, by the way.
Yeah,
she gave us our first big super chat back when we were getting started.
I do remember that. Yes, I still have her money in my pocket.
And so, thank you, welcome back, Lisa. We miss you. We were just talking about you a couple weeks ago, actually. Us and Erica was talking about you in the chat. So, and I just made a weird phrase. Anyway. So we have some stuff to go over today, though. We got the Road Dogg news. We got stuff about bot likes. We got a little tease for next week. Me and Aewful are going to be arguing in the last half of the show. So if you don't like hearing me and Aewful argue with each other, if it triggers you, then that'll be your cue to we'll make sure we get out. Yeah, we'll make sure we get everything else done before me and Aewful start arguing. So that if anybody, like I said, if anybody's triggered, if they don't want to hear mommy and daddy fighting. And yes, I'm mommy. I fully understand that I'm mommy.
Go ahead.
You know what? Let me think. What should we? Okay, so there's a couple things we can look at to get started, but let's do something fun. You want to do something fun?
Sure.
Okay. So this is kind of a preview for next week. I've been researching this for a long time. Because
yes, he's done a deep dive. He's been grokking it.
I have not just dude. I didn't even touch grok for this one.
Okay,
this is old school YouTube, and I don't. That's not really old school, but you know,
Dewey Decimal System.
I went to the library. Yeah. I was cracking the books. I had the librarian come and kick me out at 11 o'clock, and I had to watch the homeless guys masturbate on the computer. All kinds of stuff, you know.
All right, delve into it.
That's what happens at the library, right? That's I haven't been to one in years, but I figure
sure.
But I was looking into this because when we were first, not a long time ago, but we were first kind of talking about looking at crazy like characters or lolcows or whatever you want to call them. I thought, you know what the best place to go for this is? GoFundMe. Right? That's the best place to go to find this crap. And I wanted to find something no one else found. So I went to GoFundMe and I just searched wrestling. And I found 5 GoFundMes from one wrestling show.
Oh my God. Did JCW do it all over again?
No. It's better. It
wasn't JCW. Was it AEW either?
TBW, sir.
TBW.
That is
T-Bone Wrestling?
T-Boy Wrestling. And they do not consider themselves a wrestling company.
What does the T stand for?
I think trans. Is that what it is?
Wrestling.
Is that what it is? They don't consider themselves a pure a professional wrestling company. They said they are a performance art company. They were holding shows. So you can just hear this and I'm like, oh, this is great. This is going to be so funny. We're going to have so much fun talking about this. And then I went and looked it up and like, it's terrifying. Like it is a true controversy, a true scandal. People were like taken for lots of money. People were injured. There was mismanagement. This could be an HBO miniseries. That went on in this thing. So I cannot get it all in now. It won't. I wasn't going to be able to get it done. because I started like on Tuesday and no. But what I can do is I can show you a little bit about the company themselves. So let's look at that real quick. And this will be like a preview for what's coming next week. And by the way, you didn't get the Glom Gold, but anyone who donates $19.99 or up has a good chance of getting Glom Gold on their donation. But anyone who does $4.99 and up will get their donation read live on the air, whether we like it or not. And they'll get a little soundbite to go with it. So if you do it, you'll interrupt us and we'll shut up, and that's how this works. But let's take a look at the video here.
Celebrating Pride takes on many forms, not just the parade. This week, T-Boy Wrestling came to the Bay Area featuring transgender wrestlers. The event drew hundreds of people.
Crowd. Look how excited they are.
They are fucking on their ass.
They love. They want to be there so bad. This is all they want to do because they're big time wrestling fans, and they came to see.
How much were tickets, do you think?
Oh, I know. Actually,
oh, you do. Let's
do
hear the price.
$25 to $40.
Kiss my motherfucking black ass on that fucking price.
The cheapest,
especially for what you get.
The cheapest tickets were $25. The most expensive were $45. Also, by the way, they had, or $40, I'm sorry. They also had after parties. They had
of course,
something like a struggle session. They had like,
can you describe the struggle session for me?
I don't, dude. They didn't get into it. They didn't get.
We will by next week. We'll have a whole fucking.
They were just listing off the things like this was a guy who, like, apparently he went to a drag show in New York and he met a wrestler, and the wrestler was like, you know what'd be good is if you did trans wrestling, and the guy's like, oh, that sounds fantastic, I'm gonna do that, and then he went, I'm gonna go to San Francisco, which he did. That's where this started. I'm literally San Francisco, and so he went to San Francisco and he started this, and he had no idea. He didn't know anything about wrestling, and half the people are like untrained. They decided that every show had to have a after party at a club, so they had to get a DJ. They had to rent out a club. They just thought I don't know where they thought this money was coming from, or why they thought that T-Boy Wrestling was going to take the world by storm. There's the host, the quote unquote host of the show, was like, I could have seen this get on ESPN or like
what?
They
Please, the Big Ten Network.
They for some reason had like this mindset that they were just going to take the world over, and like,
oh my god.
Let's watch. This is they actually had like 4 or 5 shows before the one that just completely destroyed them, and now they're trying to come back. But let's watch some more of this. Is before one of the shows, because the show that destroyed them was in Portland. This one is one of the San Francisco shows. So in
one of the most liberal areas of all time, Portland, Oregon. I can't believe it.
I mean, not only that, the shows were actually kind of successful. It's just they had no idea what they were doing. It was basically a normie being like, I can do that pro wrestling stuff.
Sure.
It's not a big deal. Anybody can do that. It's like a drag show. It's like a play. It's like an opera. People always think that it's the same as putting on
La Boheme.
Anything else. And so here, let's keep this going here.
Filled the venue, as the wrestlers told ABC 7 News reporter Tara Campbell,
the venue with?
This is a chance for many of them to be who they really are.
Oh yeah. Amateur wrestlers.
The sound of
and like half of them are like wrestling for real and half of them are fake, and they like the wrestlers thought they were gonna be. They're like, I cannot wrestle him. He is way too big for me. I need someone who is my size. And I say wrestlers with quote. They really did. It sounds like they just said they put out like an APB and said any trans men or women. I guess it's trans T-boys. So any trans men, any trans men in the area who are athletic,
right. And wrestled in high school.
Right. No. Just athletic. They had a casting call, and nowhere in the casting call was it asked if you have any wrestling experience or if you're trained. It was all about like, what's your character, what's your story, you know. So like they have a if you want to pull it up, Awful, while I'm doing this on YouTube, they have their own Mario thing, but we could save that for, maybe we should save that for next week.
Yeah, we're gonna have to save all that for the research, because I gotta you know, and first off, will this fuck up my algorithm? Looking this shit up.
No, I don't. I think our audience will be very interested in it, and I think people who like our show would be very interested.
No. It's a very interesting topic, because a couple of things, they want to see us dance around the topic a little bit,
right,
on eggshells a little bit, try to make this thing as potent as possible without offending anybody. The most offensive thing to me, being a former amateur wrestler, is their amateur wrestling. Like, what the fuck? I mean, I kind of want to go in there and show them, like, listen, this is how you do a double leg takedown.
Well, I gotta tell you,
they're like, we're familiar.
There's definitely aspects of the story to make fun of, but I think once you get into the story, you're just going to be it's going to be not become a fan, but it's going to be less about the goofiness of what it is and more about the disgusting nature of everything. Dude, I'll tell you one too far story. I'll tell you one little story. Okay, so the host called the booker, quote unquote, who, by the way, you know what his job is? Awful. He owns a print shop in San Francisco, by the way.
Great.
That's his job. So by the way, the print company is also bankrupt now, but
sweet, I win.
They called them, and they're like, you know, we haven't got, or I was supposed to get a performance bonus or something. Like they gave it's like UFC. They gave prizes for like Mr. Congeniality.
Was it a
most
boner,
entertaining,
or was it a
stuff.
bonus?
I don't know. But anyway, they called him like, so am I going to get my bonus? And he said, I guess they were on a Zoom call, and he goes, let me pull out my fingerboard, and if I can do a kickflip, then you'll get your bonus. Right? On video, he pulled out his thing, and he did a kick. He tried to do a kickflip, and he didn't get it. And he's like, oh, no bonus for you. Like, it's insane. Listen,
I'll tell you what. I think a few weeks ago, I talked about like cultures. And how, like, really, you shouldn't really fuck with culture. I mean, you know, if you got a country out there 3,000, 4,000 years old, who are we at 250 years old to tell them, you know, what's going on? Same thing with these T-boys. They have a culture that spans dozens and dozens of years. So you can't really talk about, like, what they do behind closed doors, especially if they sign an NDA.
And I guess, my point is that as you get into this, you're going to, well, not forget, but it's all that stuff is going to be secondary to the drama that happened with this show. I said, I'm telling you, sir, 5 GoFundMe's off of one show. 5 GoFundMe.
What were the listings for these GoFundMe's? Like, what were the titles of them?
A couple of them were businesses that got screwed over, but it was all like trans wrestler trying to live his dream struck down and his stuff like that. It was all I mean, we can get into the trans representation on GoFundMe and how bad it makes their community look in general later next week.
We'll finish out this little.
Let's keep going here. We still got a couple minutes left here. So
both inside the ring and out, for this group of transgender wrestlers and their fans.
Being with people like me and wrestling like my friends and just people who like have the same honestly common experiences makes it just so much.
Yeah, go on. Go on, Finley Walker.
Is that Jungle Boy? Is
it Jungle Boy?
Is that just Jungle Boy? Is he moonlighting as a T-boy wrestling?
More.
I hope you guys can see me next Saturday at Dilation.
Have the same honestly common experiences.
I will be there.
Makes it just so much more accessible. It makes it so much like have the same honestly common experiences. Makes it just so much more accessible. It makes it so much more fun and comfortable.
T-Boy Wrestling was created by the founders of Trans Dudes of LA, a social group for transgender men.
As a way I forgot about that part. Yeah.
It's the names that they come up with. Trans Dudes USA.
I don't know if this is the clip or not, but like the host got in trouble by some of the wrestlers because the host is a trans female, and the host said something like, what was it? It was I'm trying to think exactly what it was. It was if you want to see two trans boys wrestle and then kiss each other, then come out to our show. And then like some of the wrestlers were like, I don't like to be called trans. I'm actually non-binary, or I'm actually trans-masking. I'm not a trans man. Thank you.
Right.
So like they all, it's like they like, what's the word I'm looking for? They liberaled each other to death. Like they just
right.
They all turned on each other.
Yeah,
and so it's so
liberal way.
Bring trans men together and give them the space both in sports and performance to, express their point of view from the trans masculine perspective.
And it makes me feel at home. Like when I'm here, I feel like I'm at home.
Please.
Jameson Rodriguez left his home in
That's the owner, by the way. Mitch Miller. That's the owner of the company.
Okay.
That's the one who screwed everybody. So
Did he used to be a girl? Let's figure this out right now before I go on.
yes, I think yes. He was a he
better beard than I do.
At one point, really, my beard's better than that. I just shaved my beard, by the way. I shaved off the winter beard. Now I'm all now I look just like I haven't shaved for a couple of days because I took off my winter beard. I feel naked. Yeah, that's the culprit right there, Mitch Miller. So
space both in sports
get used to him.
And performance to, express their point of view from the trans masculine perspective.
And it makes me feel at home. Like when I'm here, I feel like I'm at home.
Jameson Rodriguez left his home in Florida behind less than a year ago.
Coming over here and finding refuge, this has been so important.
Okay, so listen to what she says here. Okay, hang on.
Express their point of view
16 by
from the trans masculine.
I mean, goddamn.
The chat said that how do they have a better ring than AEW did in Australia? Thank you, Ewan Cumia. By the way, I think it was Ewan, or it might have been okay, but anyway.
Perspective.
And it makes me feel at home. Like when I'm here, I feel like I'm at home.
Jameson Rodriguez left his home in Florida behind less than a year ago.
Coming over here and finding refuge, this has been so important for me because like we don't have anything like this out there.
There is no doubt that this is a
that was another thing too, is that apparently they wanted it to be a I guess every event was supposed to be populated by people like trans people in the local community, and instead they got mad because they brought in like actual wrestlers, so the other transgenders people were what's the right word,
ladies and gentlemen, Randy Orton.
Yeah, the other T-boys were upset because they were bringing in like actual wrestlers who could wrestle, and they're like, they're not from Los Angeles, and that was
really that local, huh? Okay.
Yeah. That's they were very. One of them was like, I think the owner had a crush on a guy that he met in New York because he kept bringing him in, and then he paid him and
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It's like this should be on Bravo. That's all I'm saying.
Hosted by Andy Cohen. Hey guys, welcome to T-Boy Wrestling.
Honestly, I'm surprised that AMC gave Impact a deal and not T-Boy Wrestling.
You fucking kidding me? Now you've gone the bridge too far.
Have you seen AMC recently? They give a show to Perez
Mad Men.
So
what?
Yeah. That's why he was on Impact. Because a show on AMC.
Oh
God.
For the transgender community, specifically within the LGBTQ plus community, can you tell me what it means in this moment to have
imagine the
this
smell
here for the community?
I think in a way it's a protest to everyone who tells us we can't be who we are. Because like Joy is a protest, like that is a protest because they don't want us to be ourselves. They don't want.
At Andredom8004 super chatted $19.99. What DA entire PhD is happening here? Flushed.
I think he missed the opening.
Yeah, Andre, bro, thank you for the 1999. What the entire fuck is happening here? Because you sent so much money, we're gonna have this give us a quick rundown
for anyone, because people are going to be coming in late because of NXT. So, so this is T-Boy Wrestling. We're going to be talking about them in depth next week. We're going to have some of their wrestlers on.
How deep are we going?
Well, this is awful. It's your number one source of T-Boy Wrestling information on the internet today. We are the official home of T-Boy Wrestling.
Right.
We gave them a TV deal. We're giving a media rights on Awful Wrestling. No. So there's a lot of controversy here, and I was planning on just doing some ha-has, and it got deeper than that, and I realized this isn't funny. And so I'm going to work on it.
It's hilarious.
I'm going to work on it. Well, the other part isn't. So I'm going to work on it and get that together for next week. But I took the part that we can make fun of, and I brought it to the forefront right now. So, not that we can't make fun. I mean, we can make fun of anything. You know what I mean?
Right. And I'm sorry if people get offended.
Find joy and
we may say.
We make fun of everything. We make fun of everything. Okay. And you know what? I showed restraint this week, by the way. Thank you very much. Because I had a couple things on our on Mr. Nicebeard over on Facebook. And
we can't spare him. I mean, if we can get to him, we'll get to him.
But apparently it's like the anniversary of his father's death, and I was like, you know what?
All right, next week.
We'll see.
Will next week be the anniversary of his father's death?
I don't know. If it is, then we're doing something. If it, if he comes up with another thing that is also, he didn't put out any videos. If I'm being honest, it's more because he didn't put out any. I don't. We have a lot of reading tonight, and I didn't want to just sit here and read all night. So,
right.
But but I think we were very nice to Mr. Nicebeard, and
get out of this shitty fucking image, by the way. This let's bullshit.
Yes, here. Hold you.
I think in a way it's a protest to everyone who tells us we can't be who we are. Because like joy is a protest. Like that is a protest because they don't want us to be ourselves. They don't want us to find joy in existing. They want us to hate ourselves, and like we don't.
What?
We understand who we are. We understand our identity.
You know what, bro? Fuck you. Okay? Because like seriously. So just a couple hours ago, I also had the privilege of watching the Janelle Grant, I guess her little speech in Connecticut. And again, you guys swear like all these people who come out of the woodwork with their problems and their issues and they swear it's 1968 out in this motherfucker. It's 2026. Nobody gives a damn about trans boys, trans girls. Yeah. I'm seeing it with my own eyes, okay? I've gone into plenty of places where there are T-boys and T-girls, and nobody bats an eye to what they're fucking doing.
Exactly. You wanted to be, if people want to be normalized, totally fine. It's the same thing we tell people who want to be content creators. You want to be content creators, that's fine. But once you do that, you are... you open yourself up to everything that all the other content creators open themselves up to, criticism. And when you if you're a subculture and you want to be not a subculture anymore, you want to be part of the mainstream culture, then when you do that, we get made fun of all the time. And we make, Awful makes fun of me because I in the chat, Sauce, by the way, Sauce, if that stand-up thing was serious, I would like to see a clip, and we will play it on This Is Awful if you'd like. But
what did he say?
He said, I now have to scroll up because our chat's going too fast here. He said, you can make fun of anything and everything. Hell, make fun of me. I'm crippled. I want to be a stand-up comedian, but the joke's on me because I can't stand up.
See, and that's the kind of open-minded humor that we like on this show. Seriously,
that's a very Muppet Show joke, by the way. Seriously, if you have a clip, I'll play. We'll play a clip. We don't mind, but we might roast you.
We'll critique you.
We might roast you a little bit. Yeah. Not that either of us have ever had the balls to do stand-up. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Awful. Have you ever had the balls to do stand-up?
I've not done stand-up, but I have played instruments in front of people. I
did that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
I've hosted things before. I used to.
Yes, I used to MC as well.
Yeah. So I couldn't call myself an MC because, that would be racist, I think.
But let's hear what this victim has got to say.
Let's keep hearing what this guy's talking about.
Very well. In a very complex way.
There's always something to look at T-Boy Wrestling.
And these fans in Oakland are being treated to the first stop on the T-Boys multi-city tour.
When I bought the tickets, they said they were going to sell out fast. And I was like, really?
Hate ourselves.
I like they have the universe. I like
we understand who we are. We understand our identities very well in a very complex way.
There's always something to look at T-Boy Wrestling.
And these fans in Oakland are being treated to the first stop.
Look at him.
Capacity crowd here at Transmania.
I'll tell you what, it kind of just looks like a regular indie wrestling show crowd.
Of course.
It's not that much different, if I'm being completely honest. I could see this in any VFW, especially that guy right up front there with the tank top on. this I could see this on a show booked by Jim Cornette. Absolutely, I could.
Sure can. He'd be you know what? He'd love to write for this fucking
I bet he would. I bet he would. Him and Vince Russo, I bet Russo would eat it up, man. I bet Russo would be all over this.
Now, of course, with my tongue firmly in cheek, I say this shit because we both know that Jim Cornette would not go for this shit for as bleeding as his liberal heart is.
No. He's a secret.
He does have, yeah.
He's a secret. We all know that.
Yeah. He's a secret Republican. Just say it. Just say it.
No. He's a Dixie Democrat. Same thing, though. I mean, that's true. That's true. You know, so same thing.
Right.
And we understand who we are. We understand our identities very well in a very complex way.
There's always something to look at T-Boy Wrestling.
And these fans in Oakland are being treated to the first stop on the T-Boys multi-city tour.
When I bought the tickets, they said they were going to sell out fast.
Now,
I was like, really? Are they?
When the T-Boy,
sure. But it's really exciting to see exactly how many people.
Because you can rewind. I'm sorry.
It's okay, you're fine.
I love stepping on toes.
You're fine.
When the T-Boy pins the other T-Boy, do you think the ref hits the 3 count or does he hit the 1 count, a la collegiate amateur wrestling?
1. I bet it's 1.
I bet you it's 1 too.
No, you know what? I bet it's 3 because I don't think they know enough. Like, I think the only wrestling they know is WWE.
Right. They're like, Gold Dust.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And Mr. Wilson told us to stop rewinding it. If you want to watch the video, go watch the video. We're doing our thing here, brother.
Right. What are we blowing his groove? He's got his pants around his ankles. I'd be right okay if these fucking 2 knuckleheads didn't
Matt Buswell in the chat. Matt Buswell said you can smell the fentanyl in the air.
I love it.
All right.
You said it, not we.
There's always something to look at T-Boy Wrestling.
And these fans in Oakland are being treated to the first stop on the T-Boys multi-city tour.
When I bought the tickets, they said they were going to sell out fast.
They said it's the first stop on the tour. Funny thing about that tour, he booked like 9 dates for a tour that he had no plans on. He just figured it was all going to work. It was all going to work out. I'll be able to find people that'll work these shows. I'll be able to pay for it. It's not a big deal.
So he had nobody in tow?
I mean, he
ready to go?
No, because remember, they were supposed to go town to town and find different people. They wanted to be a highlight of every community they went to. These shows were 8 hours long, Awful.
What?
Not including the after party or the struggle session.
8 hours of fucking amateur wrestling.
Hours. I don't even know if it's amateur wrestling. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. I don't think they know what it is. I mean,
really, are they? I was unsure, but it's really exciting to see exactly how many people want to see something like this.
Who's gonna take it?
It's really awesome to see it grow, and I'm hoping we can just do that in every city and kind of have like a small community of trans men in every major city, so yeah, people can find their people.
Tara Campbell,
We've really gone
ABC
full
7
circle
News.
on this professional wrestling shit.
There you go. That's the thumbnail right there for next week.
Yeah, you're not fucking kidding me. What's Homeboy doing wearing his chest holster? And why not a bra? What's going on here?
All right.
Why is not blurred out?
You want a timestamp so you can get that thumbnail off?
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Okay. So that
I'll have you take care of that.
That is a little preview of what we got next week.
Asterisk super chatted $4.99. Cornette would call this an outlaw mud show. It's dynamite worthy if you ask me.
Outlaw Mud Show. How apropos.
Yeah, exactly.
Mud Show.
An outlaw, actually, when you find out some of the things that they did, like run a wrestling show without a license or stuff. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But we will get into that next week, but we still have plenty of stuff to go through this week. So what do you think? You think we should do the Road Dogg stuff first? Oh, you know what? Let's do Cody. That's probably the big thing, right?
Is it? I mean, I'll tell you what. So I before the show, I just happened to watch the match. The match was good.
Good match.
Cody hits a Cody cutter from the top rope and pins Drew McIntyre to win the World Championship. In the arena, it sounded great. People were throwing their babies in the air. Online, a whole different story. Tell us about it, this.
You mean how the people that online have been screaming about wanting Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes to main event WrestleMania for the past 3 years now suddenly decided they don't want to see Randy Orton face Cody Rhodes?
Come on now. I kind of get what the haters are thinking as well.
No, you don't.
Okay, go ahead.
Because they don't. Because they don't mean it. You're agreeing with people that don't exist, Awful. These aren't real opinions. These are people who just want to hate everything, okay?
Dude, the way...
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. You go ahead.
No, it'd be like an AEW fan being like, you know what? That Awful has a strong opinion, good opinion about Tommaso Ciampa. No, okay? You're...
Do I?
I'm just saying, it's a lot of these people just are going to complain no matter what happens. Now, I would like to hear you defend it, though.
I'm not going to defend it. It just does speak. See, I'm not either pro or against. See, when it comes to the WWE, I'm not one of those WWE defenders. They make $1 trillion a fucking year. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but they make a lot of money. So I'm kind of off that bandwagon where it's just like, yeah, I'm going to really hardcore defend this company. But it does speak to like the ramrod, buckshot kind of booking that they're doing lately. What are they doing? Why would you have a match like this on SmackDown when you kind of could have had it on at Elimination Chamber? I don't know. It just seems kind of janky the way that this has all come about.
Because
we kind of want a clean road forward between Randy Orton.
Here's my question: why do we have to have this conversation every WrestleMania?
We don't.
But we always do, right? Because every WrestleMania, people are like, they don't seem like they have any idea what they're doing. I don't. Why are they? But then it always comes together, and by the end, everyone's like, oh, okay, it sucks. That's good. But to sit here and complain about like the road, all that stuff it's silly to me, because we have found out year after year after year, literally 3 years now, we have found out that we have no idea what they're thinking in January, and we have no idea where it's going to lead, and we just got to kind of sit back and, I mean, go back even years and years ago, though. Do you remember when the second Triple H versus Undertaker match? Do you remember the setup for that match?
I think they just pointed at the fucking signs, didn't they?
3 weeks before WrestleMania, Undertaker came out, and then Triple H came out, and they looked at each other and they pointed at the sign. Yeah. And that was the entire build-up to that match. And then, so you get people that are saying, we need to get back to that already. And it's like, it's just crazy.
No, God damn it. Stop right there. I think you're misconstruing.
I literally saw
people want to go back to the time where they knew at the end of WrestleMania 5 they were going to see Hogan Warrior at WrestleMania 6.
I literally saw
by Royal Rumble.
I saw a 10,000 like post this week where someone posted the picture of Triple H and Undertaker and said, "Take me back." Okay, why can't we have this anymore? And it's like, that was at the time we thought that sucked too. We were like, why are you only giving them 3 weeks? And why you just do it like this? Like, it's all, I'm not saying WWE is great. I'm saying it's better than it was then. And if you want to go back to 1988, there's a lot of reasons I'd like to go back to 1988. And I'm right there with you, but we are not in that world anymore.
Stop right there. The formula, we're not talking about bringing the Ultimate Warrior versus goddamn Hogan back. We're talking about the formula in which it took to make that match have maximum impact.
Right.
You want to plan your fucking WrestleManias a year ahead. And I don't believe that this new regime is doing such a thing. I think they're booking like it's almost like month to month. And it doesn't seem like it's cohesive.
I disagree on the month to month. I think they knew. I mean, I think they knew where they were going with this in about January, probably. But
of last year,
no,
that's what I'm talking about.
You can't do that anymore. You just
you can.
If we were going to do that, if
we are watching. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Do you want that? Because if you do, then the main event of last year's WrestleMania would have been like Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn. You know what I mean? You can't. But you can't.
Again, you make it seem like these guys have no control with the pen that they have in their hand. If you want, listen, there are television shows winning Emmys that have written 2 years in advance.
Okay, they've been teasing Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton since Cody Rhodes showed up back in the company.
The way they got there is a little janky. You got to admit.
I don't think so. I think it might. I just don't expect. Like, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want to build for a year. The last time they did a build for a year was Rock versus Cena, and the only way they could make sure that happened was neither of them could wrestle most of the year, because if one of them got injured, that match was not happening. Right. So they had to protect Cena, and then Cena, by the time they got to the match, was so in the mud that no one cared about it at that point anymore, because they hated Cena. Punk had risen up. He should have been. Everyone in the world thought CM Punk was going to be in the main event, but they said Rock Cena. They had to do Rock versus Cena, and that's where we were. But so it doesn't leave any room for Randy Orton. I mean, Randy Orton was injured for like half the year,
right?
You know?
And then he came back half a year later.
Okay.
Orton wasn't injured. Excuse me. Orton wasn't injured. Cody wasn't injured. Drew's not injured. None of these guys are injured.
It's a much different world when you only have to worry about 4 pay-per-views. Right? Much different.
You got to stop. You got to stop with this.
What? How is it not?
They created the idea of having fucking 12 pay-per-views to begin with. They wrote themselves into this corner. I'm not going to rock Vince. Sure. I'm not going to rock with the idea of, like, at least anymore. I'm not going to rock with the idea of the billionaire fucking company not getting their shit together in time for WrestleMania.
You're talking about them like they're destitute.
I'm not talking about
they just sold 17,000. But I mean, okay, but that's the thing. You're arguing as if they're not doing good business. They are doing good business.
I hate this. See, again.
So what do they have to fix? You wanted to fix for you.
You know what, WWE, TKO, Emmanuel, Triple H, you guys are doing fantastic work.
I didn't say that either.
I'm not saying you're saying it. I'm saying it right now. I'm saying that you guys are doing fantastic work. You're making hand over fist a ton of money. Okay. But I believe that the short-term pops are going to hurt long-term business because, again, you guys think you can skate through WrestleMania. Next year, you're in Saudi Arabia. Okay? How are you going to write yourself? Like, do you have WrestleMania planned for next year? If it's not Roman versus Rock or, some other big match, you need to be building every storyline with your big stars onto that platform to make that happen. You didn't do it this year. You had Roman Reigns win the Royal Rumble. Great. His match with Cody Rhodes, with CM Punk is set. See, there is no okie-dokie. Excuse me. Bit my tongue. There is no okie-dokie with that. But with Cody, you are okie-doking a little bit. Like, you've got a match on SmackDown. Of course, I know SmackDown's ratings haven't been all that great, so you gotta perform. You gotta put something up there. But don't tell me that this was all in the design. And when you say that, this is the way it's supposed to be, or at least they're making money.
guess. Are you dead? Did Aewful die? Aewful disappeared. I think I had a heart attack. Well, I don't know what his next line was going to be, but I will. I guess I'll go on from there. I think that the idea of mixing it up during WrestleMania season is something that we kind of should understand is going to happen by now. If you are complaining about it, that's your right. Obviously, I don't expect you to think exactly what I do, but you have two shows. So you have one show where things are set and things are drawn out and you get that long-term build, and you have the other show where things are exciting and things. I don't want to see two guys doing promos, the same promo every week for 3 months. I don't. And I like the idea that I didn't know what the WrestleMania. I like being surprised. I like things being different. I like.
I'm glad you like being surprised.
I do.
I'm glad you like it. You with your 13-year-old kid in tow. I don't have a 13-year-old kid. Okay, mine happens to be 21 at the time. So I have an adult sensibility when it comes to professional wrestling. I don't watch it with kids. So, and maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe
you don't watch it, but I think that's another thing too, is that you don't watch weekly. So if you had to sit there and watch every week, you'd get really tired of seeing the two guys, same two guys out there cutting the same promo week after week after week, spreading it, and we also look at the.
But aren't they doing that with CM Punk and Roman Reigns? Why is there no okie dokie with going on with that particular match? There won't be a third guy
because you have two matches. Why do the same thing on both?
I swear to God.
What? You get so mad when I don't agree with you.
No. I don't get mad. I'm more mad at Yeti Nano than my Yeti Nano mics than this fucking argument. So I have to constantly look at my fucking settings to make sure that the shit's still plugged in. But ultimately, what I was saying is that how do I bottom line this in less than 5 seconds? It just seems like there was a lot of okie dokie going on with the Cody Rhodes match and not so much with the Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. It's almost like they had one idea in mind for an entire year, and then they were just like, fuck it. Let's see what we can come up with in the next 4 or 5 weeks with this Orton, Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes matchup here. None of those guys were injured, so I'm just curious as to why Cody has to win this match. Motherfucker lost the Royal Rumble. Motherfucker lost the Elimination Chamber.
We just talked about this. You didn't follow the story.
Okay, I understand. They wrote it in nicely so that this and Max can be fucking appropriately brought up to speed.
That is so demeaning to me, sir.
I hope it is. I hope it is. They wrapped it up in a nice, pretty bow.
No, it sounds like honestly, it sounds like you don't understand complex storylines with your small brain. Aewful. It sounds like as you get older, you can't follow simple stories week to week. And and I don't know, I know early onset dementia is a thing, and I don't want to.
Wow, motherfucker just went in on me.
But but the fact that there is the story, the fact that they did the thing where Drew said, he does not get a title shot. The fact that they had Drew be the main cause for Cody getting eliminated from the Rumble. The fact that they had Drew be the cause for Cody getting eliminated from Elimination Chamber. And the fact it leads to the exact opposite of what you're saying. It sounds like a plan that they had set up from the beginning. Drew says, you can't get a title shot unless you win the Elimination Chamber in the Rumble. Drew stops him from winning the Elimination Chamber in the Rumble. Meanwhile, Nick Aldis is constantly warning Drew, if you keep getting involved, I'm going to punish you. If you keep getting involved, I'm going to punish you. Over and over and over again. To the point where he kept getting involved and he, FAFO, right? And they even said that on SmackDown. But to me, that says this is a coherent storyline. This is a point we wanted to get here. We were here. This is how we got there. And and you always hear it was The Rock. Wasn't it The Rock who was the big one who always like, you never know what's going to happen during WrestleMania season. WrestleMania season is crazy. You could think you're going to get one match and then you get another match and that kind of thing. So clearly this was what they had planned. They have one, and so awful. You have one show where they did what you wanted them to. They had a plan. They had something set. They stuck to it. No messing around. And they had another show where they mixed it up and played around and did all that. You don't have to watch SmackDown. You can just watch Raw. That's what they do now. They have multiple shows that you can do multiple things, and it doesn't really matter. If you don't like one, you have another. If you don't like that one, you have NXT. If you don't like NXT, you have Evolve. Like there's, if you don't
there's
like Evolve,
something
you have
for everyone.
And so I understand that. Like Evolve, not for me, and NXT, not really for me. And but I enjoy Raw and SmackDown right now. I enjoy Raw more than SmackDown, definitely. But you also have to realize something. Maybe it's just getting to this now because we've gotten all up to this. Is that they're switching everything. So Road Dogg was the let me see. Let me go back here. There he is. Road Dogg was the main writer for SmackDown, and he is no longer in that position. He was let go earlier this week, or he quit. I guess he quit. Is the word?
Oh, you got a job?
You've been sitting on that one. So yeah, Road Dogg quit. It sounds like he read the writing on the wall. That's kind of the story that's being told everywhere, is that he knew it was coming.
Okay.
And the head writer of Raw, which had the head writer of Raw had taken over both shows. That writer is now strictly on SmackDown, and Alexandra Williams has been made the head of Raw, which people seem to like her. You've always heard good things about her. She appeared well on Unreal, so it'll be interesting.
She didn't say a word, and she was also the woman that wrote the Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax segments for their storyline.
I don't remember.
Was that a flop, or was that a win?
I don't remember it. Which way?
Well, that tells you all you need to know.
Was that Queen of the Ring?
Not really sure.
Okay, dude, you can, but I mean, it doesn't. I'm sure she's better than Road Dogg. Like, here, look, I did pull this, so this is probably what Road Dogg. This is probably what happened to Road Dogg. If we want to look at it here, let's take a look at this.
Oh yeah, this was not a good look.
We're gonna have to have one short match.
Could you use this as the opportunity to switch the title back, and Chelsea wins the title back? It might not be a bad thing.
So I guess my question would just be,
Chelsea winning the title doesn't sound like a bad thing, right?
Sure.
Everyone likes Chelsea Green, so
if you flip it back to Chelsea, who should work with?
Chelsea, she's got something. There's something to her.
She does, but my point is, if you put the U.S. title on her, I'm not saying we lost faith in Chelsea.
Yeah.
Put the U.S. title on her.
Triple H is like my brother talking to me right now, by the way. Like, I'm Road Dogg, and Triple H is my brother. I've had this exact conversation with him 1,000 times. Where I go,
so if you don't change the tire,
wouldn't it be cool if blah blah blah? And then he goes, well, yeah, it'd be cool, but then what? And I'm like, well, and he goes, well, no, seriously, what would you do? And it's like, no, seriously, what would you do? It's like, shut up, dude.
Yep.
Is if you put the U.S. title on her. I'm not saying we lost faith in Chelsea.
Yeah.
Put the U.S. title on her, and she works with. I mean, the baby faces that she has to work with are the same ones she already went through: Zelina Vega, Michin, B-Fab, and anybody that's above that, then she's got to lose to. Alexa Bliss, Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton, right?
Triple H he is milking it right now. He is mogging on Road Dogg right now. He is just like, like his pauses.
You know why? Triple H is aware that the cameras are on him.
Yeah,
and Road Dogg forgot.
Yeah, and Triple H is like, this is going to be on Unreal, and when we fire Road Dogg, I need everyone to know why.
Exactly. I need evidence.
Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton, right? The flip of that is, okay, so play it out. Put it on Chelsea. And she works with...
the same girls.
Yeah.
I'm
watch this body language.
I understand. I don't know. I don't disagree. I know I sound like I do, but
That's the shit you don't do. I don't care. Listen, I've dealt in corporate rooms now, maybe not in quite the high pressure situation, like these guys are going through. But yeah, you don't do shit like that. You don't turn your back to the promoter and try to do a mea culpa at the same fucking time. That, my friend, is what I believe got Road Dogg fired. The content of his character meant nothing. It was the body language that he showed on national television that they caught on camera. That's what got Road Dogg fired. And of course, I'm sure his bumble-headed fucking decisions.
Yeah, I mean,
as a writer.
If you go back, a lot of the SmackDown problems that we've become accustomed to over the past year are because of Road Dogg. So, or not because I wouldn't say because of Road Dogg, but I mean, he was the one who was he took that responsibility when he took the job, right? You can't have that job and not take that responsibility. If one show's doing well and the other show isn't, then that's on you, buddy.
Right.
You're the boss. So.
How do you not have an answer for that? Like, we're just going to put the belt on Chelsea Green. And then what? That's three words, one question. And then what? That's what you were asked, and you had no fucking response.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you'll face Michin.
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck?
No, it's a bad response. It's a bad look. WWE put it out there for a reason.
Oh yeah.
Okay. They absolutely did. And
last straw type shit.
Right. Yeah. Kind of like, they knew what they were doing. It wasn't an accident that this ended up on television. And now we get to see what what's her name gets to do. So excuse me.
Alex Williams.
Yeah. In the chat, someone said that she had a lot of balls announcing that she was head of creative. They 1000% made her post that.
Yeah.
1000%. Because
now she's going to be under the microscope. She went from 300 followers. She went from 300 followers on X to 3,000 in less than 12 hours. So, one or two of those people are going to be very, very into what she's going to be doing on Raw in the next several months. And of course, she's going to get insta feedback from such moves. Will they be good or positive?
Yeah.
What do you think? The IWC is going to be take it easy on old Alex there?
I mean, it'll just be the people who hated Road Dogg are gonna like her, and the people who liked Road Dogg are gonna hate her, and it's just gonna seem like all the same noise because it always seems like all the same noise. But WWE's gonna do the same numbers. It's not like that's the thing is like I've learned now that, and I'm not talking about like people in our chat, because typically we don't attract an IWC crowd. We attract, people who hang out on YouTube and do that. Like the IWC in general kind of means nothing anymore in terms of real numbers. WWE kind of plays towards them when it gets to WrestleMania time because they want everybody, for WrestleMania. Right. But if you look at the Cody Rhodes thing that we're going to get to here is a perfect example. Like it's just, you can't judge anything based on what the IWC says anymore. Now that doesn't mean you can't look at social media, but the thing is, like, the social media, we don't see. There's a whole other world of social media that we don't see, where it's just normies tweeting about,
that's usually on Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. And it's normies talking about, isn't Trick hot, or isn't Road Dogg dumb, or they don't think about it as deeply or get into or care about it as much. They just want to watch the show and have a good time. And there's that's it. The people who spend money on the AEW product, I feel, are actually that way too. The people actually in the crowd, those are more normies. The IWC crowd is such a small representation of of people who actually pay, because, on top of being hard to please, they are also more likely to steal even stuff they like, because they're usually more internet literate and can do that stuff, whereas a lot of people still can't, So I don't think, if they are judging her performance by anything other than the Raw rating, then what are you doing? I don't get that. But speaking of ratings, you want to talk about what happened last week?
Boy. Well, listen, for those who like NXT, they are in trouble. 604,000 viewers for their ratings. Whereas AEW, just by existing, got 640,000 views. Yeah, sure, the discrepancy is around 36 to 38,000, the 40,000 differential.
500.
But they lost. Say again?
500,000 because of Max.
That's
Remember?
right. That's right. That's right. I completely forgot about Max. But anyway. But yeah, listen, let's face facts, folks. They lost the ratings war this week to AEW's Dynamite. Last week, of course, there was something going on with NXT.
State of the Union.
Yeah,
they got knocked out in like New York and Chicago.
Somehow Trump beat NXT.
Well, he didn't beat. I mean, he did beat them, but it was they didn't even. They were like, we're showing the State of the Union. We're not even showing NXT. So
NXT fans are apparently worldly and political. They wanted to watch.
No, I didn't say that they didn't watch NXT because of the State of the Union. The stations literally didn't show NXT to show the State of the Union.
Well, there
in
you have
New York and Chicago. So yeah, it was just they didn't have a choice. That wasn't even on. They were trying to.
So they had a pretty
culture, you know.
Yeah, culture, socio-political, economic issues. These people are crazy. Best line of the night. But anyway, so NXT, tried to come back this week. They only got 604,000 people. Meanwhile, I don't know if you ever saw this. We kindly finalized that Dynamite got 640,000 people, but there was kind of like a wish-washy effect happening on X, where they were just like, AEW, they didn't get a high score either, or high rating either. I think they got like maybe 605. I know Raj Giri announced the wrong numbers, and then he had to correct himself, and then he had to correct himself a second time.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's so weird how like AEW numbers, the only fucking program on television, somehow gets their numbers all flubbed up. You don't see this shit with NCIS. You don't see this shit with anything on MSNBC. Like, their numbers don't change. They're static. But every time Wednesday comes around and the Wednesday night ratings come up, the only one that's in question are the AEW ratings. That's why I just stopped doing ratings videos, because I don't want to be that guy that's just putting out bullshit ratings like Raj Giri. And shout out to Raj Giri. It wasn't his fault, but who knows who's giving out these numbers? What the fuck is Nielsen doing with the Wednesday night ratings? It always happens on Wednesday. And I know I'm talking too much. Go ahead.
I'm more interested in what NXT does now, because I didn't even think about this until this week. But they've been okay. The common joke about NXT has been, right? What is it? It's the cookout, right? It's the show. It's like they're more. It's the show that's going for more of a black audience, right?
Yeah. Now it's a hoedown.
They just lost their 3 biggest black stars.
I was just about to say that, bro. I was just about to say, like, the CW did what the CW always does. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day. If you're a little younger, you may not understand. But back in the day, CW used to be the WB. Way back
and
in
UPN.
The day. UPN, even further back.
They're combined right now.
And when these new stations came out, because UPN and WB were kind of like new stations at the time, considering NBC and ABC and CBS had been on the air for like, at that point, 60, 70 years. So CW came out, or WB or UPN came out. And the first thing that they did was they put a whole lineup of black fucking shows. Homeboys from Outer Space, Moesha, God, I think there was
the Wayans brothers.
Wayans brothers. There was a couple others, but they used those shows and the popularity from black people.
What was the show about Abraham Lincoln's butler?
Oh my God! Now
Remember
you're
that
going
show?
deep into the weeds. No, I have no idea what you're saying.
Oh, you don't remember that? There was a show where
I
it was
remember
like,
the show, but like I don't remember what
it was the
called.
butler's name. I can't remember what it was, but it was
Right.
the butler's name. So.
Benson.
No, it wasn't Benson.
But
oh, they got Family Matters. Family Matters is on there.
Yeah.
Too.
So anyway, they built these networks up on the backs of black shows. You know, it's kind of black conspiracy type of shit. But once they got those shows up to snuff and the channel got a little bit of visibility, then they would put on Green Arrow. Then they would put on Dawson's Creek.
Yep.
Then they would it was just almost like, is the coast clear? Let's throw these black shows out first. If they get a good rating or whatever, if they are at least middling entertaining, we'll put something out. And I kind of get the feeling that NXT did the same type of formula with what they were doing on CW. Like, let's push these black stars out. Now they're too good. Now they're overbaked in NXT. We got to put them on SmackDown or Raw. So once they did that, it was just like, we've got no fucking stars. We got to put out Ricky Saints. We got to put out this guy named Joe Hendry. Go ahead.
I would, but I don't put the blame on Joe Hendry or Ricky Saints or Ethan Page or because I watched, I tend to go through NXT. I don't really watch the whole thing, but I tend to because we're doing a show. Right. But I tend to go through it later. And the show, in terms of quality, seems on the same level. Mm-hmm. It's just a different show.
Right.
And there's a different feel to it. There's different stars. The more I thought about it, it was like, this is why CW got such a good deal. Because WWE knows that every year or so, that show is going to change completely.
Right.
It's going to have different stars. It's going to have a different feel. It's going to be a different thing. And they're going to lose a portion of the audience every time it happens. So now, but honestly, if I was WWE, I would go the other route. I would say, you know what? We need more black stars on NXT. It was doing so well. And it fit the demographic of the CW, and it was giving them a different audience and so to just get rid of that, I think it might not be the best, but
they got rid of their three biggest stars in the span of 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah. That's what, I mean, that's the thing about, that's why we always say, it's still developmental, guys. You know,
do they really need ratings?
I'm sure WWE doesn't really care about those ratings. I'm sure they're just happy to get the little money that they get from CW and just put it out. And, I can't imagine that it's that big of a deal to them. Because like you said, what are you going to do? This is, if you just keep the people down there forever, then you're not developmental anymore. Then you're a third brand.
Right. And
if you're a third brand, then what do you do if you do get a guy like a Trick Williams? You're going to keep him on NXT forever to keep that, 700,000 that you had going there? Or you're going to move to another show? Because when you do, you're going to lose people. You're just going to.
Right.
So I don't know. It'll I'm sure that they will pick up and that it'll be fine in the next 3 months or so. They always
better hope this, because I'm looking at.
What do I
You don't really care. You don't.
The more people listen to Toonie Talk, if they aren't watching NXT.
Toonie Talk garners its highest ratings at 700,000 people watching. Yeah, but I mean, that's why NXT is. I don't know what happened. We can't really explain it. I'll tell you what, Jake could probably explain it better. All the other podcasts could explain it better because they're watching NXT at the time that we're doing a show. But at the same time, I mean, what's happened? This is not an indictment on AEW. AEW has not really progressed in their ratings. They're still showing the same old shit.
I think
check out Alt Jake and George's show for that. But yeah, NXT is falling.
I think you and I figured it out.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we
it's
put it
as
together.
simple as that.
They've lost their three biggest stars and they have to build people up now. That's just what they.
Why they did that? Why can you explain why they did? Why couldn't they have just kept Javon and put him in give him the trick push? You know what I mean? Like in NXT, like make him somebody.
Because I think that you risk what happened with Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes was in NXT too long. And by the time he got to the main roster, all his heat was dead. Right?
Carmelo Hayes is 5'2". And I hate to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. Carmelo Hayes was what they wanted. Trick is what they wanted Carmelo Hayes to be. But the problem is, I think as we learned a couple weeks ago, either on our show or on Toonie Talk, Carmelo Hayes isn't an athlete. He was a wrestling fan. Whereas Trick, that motherfucker went through combines and went through training camps and played in games. So he knows how to trash talk. He knows what it takes to be successful.
No. I'm not going to take any slander on Carmelo Hayes. Awful.
He's
Carmelo
doing
Hayes
great,
fantastic.
but he's got a
fantastic.
ceiling.
When I look at Carmelo Hayes, like I could see him doing very well in a number 3 or number 4 role, right? He's never going to be the guy. Like Trick, Javon, Oba, they could be the guy. Carmelo can't be the guy, but Carmelo can be a way better Sami Zayn than Sami Zayn. You know what I mean? Like Carmelo can be a way better version of what the Miz, like that kind of stuff. So he just has to develop. But like I said, the problem is that they kept him too long, and by the time he got to the main roster, they had to completely start from scratch. They got Trick at the perfect time, and I'd say
Sure,
they
didn't overbake him.
Yeah, and I'd say all of them, Javon, Oba, Trick, all got exactly what they needed. I just don't think NXT is a priority in terms of performance. I think NXT is there for one specific reason, which is to develop talent, and they did their job and developed the talent, and they're gone. And now they have to develop new talent, and that's what NXT does. And and by the way, that's me taking an L. That's absolutely me taking an L, because I said that I thought they weren't going to bring up that the whole cycle was going to end, that NXT was going to become a full brand. And
why? Because of the CW deal, the TV deal?
Because the CW deal, because of the fact that the product was so different. And I think that might have been more of a mistake than anything, was actually changing the product to fit Javon and Trick and Oba, knowing that those guys are you can't let the wrestlers dictate the product when your product is when your lineup is constantly changing like that. You can't make you have to have a product that is conducive to churning people out. And when you make Trick Williams or Oba Femi such an integral part to your show, you have to, Joe Hendry should have been on NXT for 6 months before anyone left. If they wanted to keep the continuity and not lose people, they should have had, but Oba just laid the title down in the middle of the ring. He didn't even lose the title. He didn't make anybody on his way out. And that's another issue that you have.
He's a rarity. And shout out to JJ Alexander, because he said Chalk Lesnar. I thought that was fucking hilarious. But yeah, that's what you do with somebody like Oba. With Trick and with Javon Evans, I think you could have kept. Listen, you know what? I like how Trick is fitting into the role on SmackDown. Not bad. Good shit. Javon, I think you could have built him up a little bit more in NXT and at least salvaged a little bit of that ratings get with him as the top star on that brand.
See, like I said, I think the problem is that you lose. He had after the Saturday Night's main event with John Cena, you had so much momentum with him that you put him back down in NXT. By the time he comes up, he could be Axiom. You don't know where he's
I don't know
be.
about now. Of course, right? I understand.
And
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's just like that's a hypothetical. That's a what if. I just believe that they
thinking that he could carry a company too, or a brand himself.
He could.
Okay.
Because again, You control the pen. We got to stop thinking that this shit's the NFL or the NBA, and like just it's up in the air. No, you can write this man to be a great character in NXT, just like they can write Joe Hendry and oh my God, who is you mentioned his name?
Ethan
and this
Page?
Is not Ethan Page. Thank you.
Ethan Page is fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, I know he's fantastic. In fact, I believe. Well, I'll get to that later. If anybody should have been put on the fucking roster before Danhausen, it's Ethan Page. But again, for a later date. But yeah, as far as yeah, we hit it on the head, man. The fact is that they brought up 3 of their biggest stars to SmackDown and Raw, respectively.
But and
left them with nothing.
We're talking about this like it's a problem, and it just might not be one. We don't know what goes on internally back there. They might be fine with this. They might be going, this is exactly what we thought was going to happen.
Right.
Now Joe Hendry and Ethan Page and Ricky Saints have to do what Javon Evans and Trick Williams and Obafemi did, which is build that brand. Because who's to say that Trick and Oba and Javon would have been ready had they not had that pressure? So putting that pressure on these guys might help them develop more. Joe Hendry helped turn around TNA, so we know that he can do it. But this is really going to be make or break for, if anybody, Ricky Saints, right?
Oh yeah, we're gonna find out what he's worth.
Yeah, we're gonna see what he can do. Okay, let me pull that up because he did not do. Did you do? So JJ Gosling says they've proven AEW were losing to developmental. Exactly. Yeah, and that's it's what we've said all along. They NXT is just developmental, and we need to kind of keep that in mind sometimes. So, but thank you very much, JJ.
Thank you, JJ. Thank you for supporting the channel. Awesome.
All right. So let's see. We got dude. Okay, we'll do Janelle Grant. And we didn't do the Cody stuff still. So let's look at the Cody stuff real quick here. Let's go over to this side here. So breaking news, WWE's upload of Cody Rhodes winning the undisputed title on last night's SmackDown has officially surpassed 100,000 plus dislikes on YouTube in just 15 hours. It is now one of the most disliked WWE videos of all time. Sounds like a big deal, right? 100,000 dislikes. So apparently a user came on and posted that he paid $250,000 or $250 for 65,000 of them, and he's already paid for 100,000 more. No, you see this and you're just like, oh, that's bullshit, right? No, he's just whatever. He's just talking. Nope, he's got receipts. So he says, someone said, do more. He said it's impossible right now. I just we got 100K more tomorrow. Push 500 dislikes a day. So he's trying to find a way to push 500 dislikes a day on it. He's telling somebody else you're welcome because they were celebrating. Already paid for 100,000 more tomorrow. Not going to cost me a lot. Or that's going to cost me a lot. Already took $250 for 65K. Andre Adams for $1.99. I'm still shook by T-Boy Wrestling. Like, why? Tune in next week, Andre Adams. Thank you for the $1.99. And so he's actually got the literal receipt here. I'm gonna it's hard to center this one well, so I'm gonna blow it up for us. How's that?
Please.
And you can see here that he got charged
in our crisp 480K.
Yeah. $284. He paid $284.
Wow.
For 65,000 dislikes.
That remind you of anybody?
And it says completed at the end there. So these were taken care of and done. So yeah, I don't know. This is the thing that happens now, by the way. It's a big people buy dislikes or buy views for other channels,
right?
And then if YouTube finds out that you are botting your channel, then you can get banned and or get a strike, and it's up to the person who owns the channel to prove that they didn't. But doing that to WWE seems really stupid. The rumor that I heard was that he just really likes Roman Reigns, and he's still upset about Cody beating Roman a few years ago.
Okay, I don't buy into that. I buy more into the idea, and I know you don't have the tweet, but he also tweeted that he said this was his job.
Oh, so you think he went rogue?
He says it explicitly, and I know somebody in the chat is going to be intrepid enough to find that tweet. Well, actually, he deactivated, so you may not find it at all. But if somebody has a screenshot, he does say, like, this is because I think one of the questions asked of him was, hey, do you think you could do a couple more dislikes and likes for some other videos? And the guy was just like, yeah, this is my gig. Like, this is what I get paid to do. So who did, that was very interesting.
So you think so? It sounds like. Oh, wait a second. You want to hear my schizo crazy conspiracy theory here that just kind of hit me?
Sure.
Who's trying to prove right now that AEW bots a lot of stuff?
Tony Khan.
Who's trying to prove it?
Oh, who's trying to prove it? La Piccolo.
That guy does some weird stuff, is all I'm saying. I'm not going to... That guy's known to do some crazy stuff at 3 o'clock in the morning. And he's got some money.
You think that this guy is him?
I don't know. I don't know if it's him or maybe he...
Oh, to cape for Drew?
or no.
Cape for his agent, Drew, for his client, Drew
I'm not saying it's him. I'm not saying it's him, but I'm saying that maybe he said... Because how many times has he said that he could prove it? He said he could prove it. And maybe there's something where he went to the guy and was like, hey, Joe, because why would you jump online, make an account, admit that you were paid to do this, and then just disappear?
Because, bro, I will say this. Not in defense of Nick LaPiccolo.
I'm not accusing anything. That's like I said, that's my schizo crazy theory.
Right. So
I think it was cool. I think it was based if he did that personally, but that's just me.
There are people who just want to see the fucking world burn, like, and they want the acknowledgement for it. Like, yeah, I did this, and I can prove that I did this, just for the fact that they can say, like, you know, if don't ever go around thinking that this shit was anonymous. I did it, and that's how people want to. Obviously live on the internet, some of them. And yeah, I totally believe this guy. I totally believe that it was a gig of his. He was probably told to do such a thing for a small stipend or whatever. And he did what he did, and he saw the reaction to it. He saw what the IWCNN was doing, and they were like, oh, it's got a lot of dislikes. And he was just like, you know what? I did that. And so now I'm going to put it out on the world that I did it. And then, of course, he deactivated like some punk.
You know who I bet it was? Regina Sharp.
It might have been Regina. I can totally believe that shit. Regina Sharp for $250. Giving 65,000 dislikes. Yeah, I could see that happening.
but yeah, I you know, it's a, like I said, people are buying bots is a big botting is a big thing right now, because it's like, if you don't like a YouTube channel, you can buy bots to, you know, go to their channel and watch and get their numbers bigger. And then when YouTube finds out that it was bots, then they get in trouble and stuff like that. So it's a strange new world in terms.
But they did that to our man Jake.
Did they?
I don't know. It was just the crazy ass thought. Shout out Jake for reaching the 500 subscriber platform.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. But yeah,
I'm sure that's what happened.
Yeah, George paid for it. How much does it cost for 15?
Yeah, exactly. What is that?
15 subs. We are completely joking, folks. Good Lord. Man got it organically just as we did.
George
oh, Jake's here. I love it.
George spent 37 cents to get from India.
The penny's retired, so it was 40 cents.
Oh no, yeah, we're joking, Jake. Don't worry. Yeah. Oh, Jake said, Jake thought it was funny. Jake thinks it's funny. We are in the clear, guys. Jake thinks it's funny. All right.
We'll be back next week.
Yeah, we'll see you. No, we're gonna watch this Janelle Grant thing. So I'm going to bring it up here. I'm debating. Yeah. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna bring this up instead, just for a few minutes here. Awful.
Sure.
Because I
what have you got?
I need to go make sure Max is in bed. So I'm gonna bring up the commercials here real quick.
Shout out Max, who's probably listening right
now.
now.
I know, that's why I have to keep an eye on him now. So let me throw this up here real quick.
Oh, we're demonetized. We're fucked.
I'm gonna bring this up to stuff you haven't seen. There you go. Okay, 2 minutes. Talk about it. Have fun.
I thank you. I know what I'm doing. The fuck. The Festival Hall. Remember that? Look at Asuka. Here we go again. Giant Baba. Giant Shohei Baba. I got a question for the chat. Was that type of content back in the day for WWF? Do you suppose that was better? Like worst song on the album, by the way. Ooh.
There must be a winner with Lawler's hair at stake against Idol's hair. And get this, Idol says that he will beat
Mid-South Wrestling threw the greatest punches of all time. Listen, if there was one forearm that happened in the Mid-South Coliseum, I'd love to see it. Those motherfuckers threw rights and lefts like they were going out of style. Here's the Iron Sheik.
Okay, we're gonna get through one more here.
There's Max. Or was that Dis?
That was me.
Yeah, that was you.
That was me. Back in 19.
Dude, nobody played with wrestling figures like this. Like there wasn't another buddy of yours. You were all alone in the house, okay? And you had your Iron Sheik doll and your Big John Studd doll because you couldn't afford the Hogan doll. They were always sold out.
Well,
we had those two. Mid-card match in all day.
When I had a couple friends that had wrestling figures and liked wrestling and stuff, but you're still correct because you try it once. You tried to do it one time, and then you just end up with like bruised fingers because all you do, like, how do you make two wrestling figures fight that you're not controlling both the figures? Like you can't, it's just smashing wrestling figures against each other and be like, I win, no, I win, and then just go back and forth. That's all it is. So yes, you are correct. No one actually played it. Also, those wrestling figures, I stand by this. They were shit. Okay, those original wrestling figures that didn't move were shit. Okay,
can I interrupt just for just 1 second? I've
What?
got to go against. Someone mentioned in the comments that I was drunk. I am not anywhere. Yeah. Listen, I'm not anywhere near drunk. I don't even have a drink in my hand. What it is that I'm louder because I'm in my work shed. I'm not able to whisper anymore, because people are sleeping. This is who I am. I'm boisterous. I'm loud. And it may sound like I have slurred speech, but I do not have slurred speech at all.
that's right. Awful only drinks non-alcoholic Hennessy.
Nah, dude, I'm not trying to give the people a half-ass product. And I don't want them to assume that I'm drunk or taking any sort of illicit drugs. Unfortunately, I've got no
just
weed
non-illicit drugs. Yeah.
Right.
Did you see? How they keep saying like Mad Dog, I guess is sponsoring WWE now.
Okay.
And it's funny because back when I was a boy, back when you drink Mad Dog back in the day, you
Sure.
turn. You're 21 years old and you're hanging out in your friend's backyard and you get some Mad
Out in
Dog.
Missouri, it was 12.
You put it in a paper bag and you set golf balls on fire. That's what you do. And,
there you go.
So we do that.
Skin cats.
Colt 45 and Mad Dog. And so it was Mad Dog 2020. And then they completely rebranded, I guess, to MD 2020. And now it is Mad Dog by MD 2020.
Oh my God.
I don't know. So it's like they went back, kind of, but not really. I don't know. It's dumb, but it's 15% alcohol, so I kind of want to try it.
15%. I'm not touching anything. Like I was at the wine and spirit shop the other day, and I was just like, look at me, a fucking complete wino, looking at like the alcoholic content. Like if it's under 40, I'm not fucking buying it.
Well, see, I can only have like 2 or 3 beers when I drink. For health reasons, for my stomach stuff, right?
Right.
So if I'm doing that, I'm getting stuff that's I'm not getting none of that 4% alcohol by volume crap. Okay, that's not. We're not drinking Bud Light.
Right.
I'm sorry. So I have to go for the IPAs or something like that. So or the occasional Four Loko, which makes me feel so funny.
Oh, dude, Four Loko.
When my brother comes to town, I always get a Four Loko, and he always rolls his eyes. He feels so embarrassed, but I do it just because I'm next to my brother. But it's like, cause he'll sit out in the garage, drink all night, and I can't. I'll end up in the hospital.
Yeah, dude. Forget
so I have
that
to.
shit.
So I get a Four Loko, and I just sit next to him.
Is your brother 18?
No, my brother's your age. His brother's older than you, a couple years older than you.
Holy shit.
No. I buy for me. No, he gives me the side eye and rolls his eyes at me, but I do it. I make sure that I'm right next to him and he puts his beer, he puts his 6-pack down, and then I pop a Four Loko right next to him. Like, it's on him.
All right, so check it. We've got a little beer distributor down here who what they'll do is they'll take their Four Lokos, like all their shitty Four Lokos, and then they'll freeze them and make slushies. And they'll sell them bitches for like $4. So like I bought one, not knowing it was a Four Loko embedded in the goddamn shit. I took it, my stomach turned. Listen, I had diarrhea the whole rest of the night. That shit was horrendous. Four Lokos are atrocious.
You know what? I do have a soft spot in my heart for pre-ban Four Loko, the real Four Loko. You know what I'm talking about? Back in the day.
You're gonna make me take a piss break right
when
now.
it had caffeine in it. I do have a soft spot for that.
I bet you do.
Those were good days, man. Those were good days. What coffee? Yeah, throw coffee in it. No, that was before Drowning Pool went and made it so we can't drink Red Bull and vodka anymore. Was it Drowning Pool? Isn't that the ones who the guy died from too much Red Bull and vodka or something? Anyway. All right, we still got 2 topics to get to, so let's get through this Janelle Grant stuff, and then we can argue for a little bit before we get off the air. Yep, let's just bring it up. I will pause it right at the beginning.
Previously, and the press conference we had recently. And
all right, set us up, Aewful.
All right, Janelle Grant.
You guys loved her last week or a couple weeks ago, so we had to bring her back.
That was this idea. We'll put that all on me. So yeah, Janelle Grant did another public speaking, this time at the Connecticut Labor and Public Employees Committee hearing, which was it was 6 hours long. So just a small, 10-second story. I went through all 6 hours of this goddamn thing, could not find Janelle Grant. She's in the first 22 minutes, and I should have just known. My common sense should have just known, but like, yeah, she's trying to get the fuck out of there. She's trying to go to sleep at some point. But anyway, yes, Janelle Grant spoke with her lawyer, actually. So you get a public appearance from the lawyer about labor and public employees. Now, it's so funny. because before Janelle Grant and after Janelle Grant, you've got these, normal people talking about, hey man, we don't have a place for pregnant women, to clean themselves up or whatever, or amenities for workplace conditions. Okay. They're talking about construction workers coming up there like, listen, we ain't got no toilet paper, at our job site. We might want to get that fixed a little bit. And then you've got some old woman who's a secretary. She's like, we need more pens. But then out of nowhere, Janelle Grant comes up. And I was talking to this before the show, and I was just like, Janelle Grant has got some mean openers. I'll tell you. She's got some real wacky openers. The last time we saw her publicly, she was talking about how, I wrote this speech on the way here in traffic. And it was just like, oh, really, bitch? Okay. Now this time she's going to open up with a line that is highly controversial, but just try to contrast that with what I just talked about. Go ahead. Oh, there's a super chat.
From Andre Adams, get this distinguished librarian the fuck out of here. Thank you, Andre Adams. Don't worry, we will be making fun of. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, Andre, you have taken the toothpaste out of the out of the tube, and now we can open up to further jokes and humiliating comments involving
you had to watch Senate hearings all day, and I had to sit through 2 hours of it was a video that started with "Hi, gays in the phone." So who had it worse? I had to do my T-boy wrestling research. I'm going to do a poll, see who had it worse. Me watching T-boy wrestling all day, or Aewful watching Janelle Grant all day. So let's until we have the results of the poll, let's take a look at this wonderful video here.
Previously, and at the press conference we had recently, and I said to you then, and I want to repeat.
Let's preface this, by the way. I do want to preface this real quick, because the chat brought it up, and there might be people who don't know our feeling. We both think Vince McMahon is a piece of shit. Okay.
Yes. But we also think that Janelle Grant also signed a fucking DNA.
Exactly.
NDA and fucking ruined herself by putting herself out there publicly. She went against the rules of something that and listen, again, she was a willing participant. We've got to stop with this idea that she was somehow infirm or somehow against her will. There's just too much proof that shows otherwise.
Yeah.
But let's hear Senator Kushner, State Senator Kushner, bring in Janelle Grant.
That it's really important that you've come out and been public about what happened to you, because I think too many of us feel like it's a hidden problem.
Many of us.
Yet it's, as you mentioned in your testimony, really pervasive. I didn't say this at the press conference, but I was thinking it. And I think if we asked the women in this room to raise their hand, I'm not going to do that because we're in a public hearing, but if we asked you to raise your hand if you'd ever been sexually inappropriately touched or assaulted.
Do you think Senator Kushner at any time in her career was inappropriately touched?
You know what? Maybe. Dude, I've seen crazier things than that.
By who?
I don't know.
A 4-year-old girl trying to capture her attention, like, ma'am, you dropped your dentures.
I bet back, in 1985. I bet probably one of those mousy girls, and you're like, we don't know.
Okay.
I'm not judging.
I am on the Senator Kushner.
or harassed, I would either at work or outside.
I'm talking about her like she's my grandma. This woman's probably 10 years older than me.
Yeah, really. She's 36. Age like milk.
I would venture to say almost every woman in the room would raise their hand. This is pervasive.
Except me.
And one of the things that I really haven't forgotten since the day you testified, I've really been thinking about this a lot. And I believe the only way we can stop this is to make sure that people are protected and have the opportunity to disclose this.
Pause it right there.
It's really critical. I think
she's making a speech up there.
Dude. You're speaking my language. She grandstands for about 3.5 minutes. Now, of course, she's at the tail end of this, but she's grandstanding for 3.5 minutes. The lawyer, you'll see what happens, but like she is begging for the attention. This woman right here is begging for the attention of Janelle Grant.
Yes.
You'll see how.
Thought when the Me Too movement was really big a few years ago and everybody was speaking up, that we had made some real
Imagine
progress.
how down bad you have to be for Janelle Grant to be your meal ticket.
Right.
Gonna ride on those coattails. Have fun, lady.
To make sure that people are protected and have the opportunity to disclose this. It's really critical. I think we all thought when the Me Too movement was really big a few years ago and everybody was speaking up that we had made some real progress. And then I feel like we're stuck again. So what you did by coming forward has made a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's because, a lot of the women weren't telling the truth.
Right.
And that's not to say
like a psyop.
Yeah, there were plenty of women who came out and were brave and told their stories of abuse and deserved to be heard and did. But then there were also a lot of women who were like, "Oh yeah, that Minecraft streamer was totally a creeper with me."
Totally destroyed the credibility.
Right.
See, this is where the whole line. I don't know if you guys are young or not, but back in my day, they used to say one bad apple spoils a fucking bunch. And that's exactly what happened with this whole movement here. See, there were legitimate complaints. There were people that were actually abused sexually in the workplace. The problem is you had people coming out of the woodwork trying to make a fucking buck or two, the real grifters coming out of there and saying, listen, hey, I got raped too. Wait till you hear fucking Janelle Grant's opening line. You thought the first one was bad. I'm sorry. I don't mean the grandstand. Let Senator Kushner do that for us.
People like me to think about this and to talk about it and hopefully to enact legislation that will make it possible for you to share your story, but also to get results. So what you're doing is incredibly important. I don't know if you want to respond to that.
Thank you, Senator Kushner. We appreciate it very much.
And if Janelle would like to speak, she can.
Sure.
Listen to this.
I don't want to.
I'm sorry. Her lawyer is like 22 years old.
You think so? Holy shit! I'm looking at 36 all day.
No, that to me, yeah, maybe. She looks like she is someone. She's like the 12th person in line. Like she needed the gig. The rest of the firm were passing this off on her to go do. She is not the case. One that normally, yeah, this is not normally her thing.
She does landlord-tenant disputes.
I mean, she could be. Is her last name Kushner by chance?
Who knows? We'll find out. Makowitz.
Did Janelle Grant fart? Hold on a second.
No, she moved. She moved the microphone.
I don't want her back. Get out of there.
Yeah.
No,
Janelle would like to speak. She can.
Sure. Did you hear it? It wasn't the microphone. It was later than the microphone.
I don't want to see one more person raped on a table.
Wait.
Go back.
Who's making you watch that? What's that?
That's what I'm saying.
Why would you ever have to see that? That's the problem. If you have to see that, lady,
She
sorry.
walked into the office one day. She was like, I think I'll get everybody Dunkin' Donuts. She came into the fucking conference room.
When I was tasting you, brother, I found you to be not so bad at all.
At Andredums8004 super chatted $9.99. How many cats does the lady in purple own?
I say 3.
Yeah. I have one.
All calicos.
Power in daylight, behind a locked door, while people sat on their desks working.
What the hell is he talking about? Okay, we gotta go. What is he?
You gotta play it from the top.
What
Give
is
me
he
1
on
second,
about?
folks. I'm going to use the bathroom about 45 seconds.
Okay. Go pee outside.
Or person raped on a table by 2 people with all the power in daylight, behind a locked door, while people sat on their desks, working still on the other side of that door. I will not for a second waste anyone's time. We all say trade secrets when it comes to NDAs as being the thing, the go-to line of why they're so appropriate. And there are so many messy situations on planet Earth, like with humans, that there are good, legitimate reasons.
There are so many messy situations on Earth with humans. Let's
get into.
Oh, awful! Oh no! Uh-oh! What's going on? Hang on. I have to get over here because now I have to mute Awful. I can't. I have to mute him here. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Awful is muted until I hear better. Wow, that was weird. We might have to end this thing here if Awful is gone. We'll give him a second to I guess while we're waiting for him, I can pull back up. I don't want to keep watching this personally. So let's get rid of this here for a minute. Where are we? We are at 2 minutes and 34 seconds. So I'm going to close this down. We're going to bring this boy back up here so I can have some fun watching this crap. Stuff I missed. Let's go here. Hopefully Awful comes back. I don't know what to do if he doesn't. Yeah, Awful got abducted by aliens out in the woods. He dropped the mic in the toilet bowl. Thank you, chat. I really don't know what to do here. I'm not very good at vamping. So I did have thumb wrestlers too. I know that they still exist today. I've seen different ones. I've seen thumb wrestlers and I've seen like finger wrestlers. I don't know if anybody's ever seen those. I have had both. And I don't purchase them from Max, although I've offered. But yeah, that's these thumb wrestlers were a kind of a part of my childhood. You know, I had a Hillbilly Jim cake too, so that's fun. You're unmuted, so if you come back, then let me know.
Hey, you little hustlers out there, you want to have fun? Watch my show. Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling.
How do I sound now?
Oh, jeez! What? Talk again.
Hello?
You are. We need to stop. You are you're blown out.
Okay. How about this? How about if I turn this down? Am I all right now?
Let me see if I can do something on my end here. Okay, talk now. Talk now. Talk now. Talk now. Talk when you're ready. We're going to watch some aerobics here while we're waiting for you to talk. What the fuck is going on?
Can you hear me now?
I mean, you sound like you're You sound like you're. This is what it sounds like. Yes, this is what it sounds like. Sounds like your microphone's in your mouth. So.
How about now?
Nah, dude. What happened?
I don't know what happened.
Did your mic
I
stop working?
didn't do anything. I mean, you said you couldn't hear me. Everything
okay,
was
there
all
we go.
good.
Okay, wait. You're good right now. You got back.
Okay.
You're back. So.
All right.
Previously,
so let me tell you what
at
happened.
The press conference we
After
had
I paused
recently,
this, let me tell you what happened.
I said to you then.
So, all of a sudden, it just went. And it did that for about a minute. So
terrible.
I had to mute.
I apologize to the chat, and I apologize to you. I had no idea. I mean, everything was working well on this end. All I did was step away from the mic.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway.
It was because I thought it was me, but then I muted you on the VDO, and it went away. So it had to have been on your end.
Last time I was in San Francisco, I went
sorry, guys.
This guy's gonna make fun of you.
I couldn't find no woman. I found a lot of men that look like women.
At MattBuswell8231 super chatted $6.70.
Oh, that's it?
Oh, well, thank you, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I thought he was going to make fun of you, and he was nice.
No, you can make fun of me. That's okay. I mean, I had no idea that my mic was crazy.
Jake said it was the same sound that it made a couple weeks ago when it did it for you and him before he went on the air. So
see, I swear to God.
So who knows?
Anyway, yeah.
Hey, guess what?
What's
that's
the
why
Donuts joke that got me back? Anyway.
But that's why we need that's why we're doing the thing for new computers. That would solve most of this. So
right.
Awful run the fast food intercom tax. Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Thank you, Captain JPM. $2 to say exactly what it sounded like. But yeah, this is the kind of thing that will help with the other stuff. So here we go. Back to what we're doing.
Comes to NDAs as being the thing, the go-to line of why they're so appropriate. And there are so many messy situations on planet Earth, like with humans, that there are good, legitimate reasons outside of trade secrets.
The same outfit that she wore at the press conference. By the way,
that's her church clothes.
Oh, is that her church clothes?
Is
it morning service or afternoon service?
Oh, that's her. It depends on how her Saturday went.
Yep. Afternoon service all fucking day.
No, usually it's morning. She wanted to be afternoon, but usually it's morning.
She got up early, got over that hangover.
I mean, her Saturdays haven't been that crazy recently.
That's true. She only went out 10 times,
and she's by 5 o'clock. She's already had 3 glasses of wine, and she needs to go back. She's gonna if she drinks any more, she'll get a headache. So she has to get home early, and but yeah, that's her.
Yeah, and that Tinder profile is looking blank right now, looking pretty dry. She's like been swiping. I don't know which way you swipe to fucking reject somebody.
Swipe right, I think, if you like it. And so I haven't done it in a long time, so
I bet
I need to get back in the game. Actually, I still
back in the saddle.
I have 5 years before I do that. But anyway, let's go.
Again.
Hey, maybe Janelle Grant will be free by then, and then me and Janelle Grant can.
Love connection
with humans, that there are good, legitimate reasons outside of trade secrets. Again.
That's why NDAs have been put out there. That's right.
This is just,
and then people got wise to the whole thing, and then NDAs became something more. If they wanted to shut you up and they knew that you were stupid enough to sign something, they'd have you sign an NDA. Okay, and there was nothing you could do about it. Sadly, there's nothing you can do about it, Janelle. And
she's really bad at this, by the way. She's
horrid
really
at this. This is why she's got that woman to her right next
to
her.
Yeah, like she farted. We heard her fart earlier. She can't get away from that one. She has the Pam Beasley. She has the Pam Beasley sweater on.
The Pam Beasley sweater.
And
that's a nice cut there.
And now she is doing the fake cry, which sounds more like she has sinuses.
Yeah, she's got. Did you look at that honker?
Sometimes you can't, Janelle. I get it. I don't get. Okay, I don't get Vince McMahon being obsessed with her and giving her hundreds of tens of thousands of dollars over multiple years and BMWs and crap like that. But like if she was, if she like worked at the Piggly Wiggly, I'd be like, hey, she's cute. Right?
Remember, she's 10 years older in this picture, apparently, than the picture that we've always been seeing.
Right.
Again,
That's true.
She's looking a little svelte, little thin in the face. And Janelle, you're gonna have to, I don't know, do your hair up or something. I don't know what you do, but
no, you don't
sign the contract. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, you just be better at this. Listen. I will, but finish your thought because I'm gonna start playing.
She's 20 years too late. That's what I was always going to say. Like the hype factor in her story. Like, I never want to see another woman raped on a table. Like, what is this? The 40s? No.
Yeah.
This is 2026. And actually, at the time in which it happened to you, it was still prevalent. Okay. One of the things that they did was they said, here, come here, sweetheart. We want you to sign this little paper here. And then afterwards, you couldn't do a damn thing. Those days are kind of over. I don't know if Janelle has ever been told that, but like, it's real fucking tough to get away with the shit that apparently Vince and John got away with. It's real hard nowadays. There's just way too many fucking nosy nooks. There's way too many cameras. There's just way too many eyeballs on every situation now. So, Janelle, you're a little late to the dance as far as like trying to like do a big gotcha on Vince McMahon or anybody else of this ilk. It's not to say that what they were doing was fucking right. I'm just saying like you've overblown it.
She was a sex worker. Right?
Yeah, let's face it. Like you're trying to bring back your dignity. Thank you, Dis. Thank you for opening up these floodgates.
It's just we're told constantly that we're supposed to accept sex workers as real workers, and that's fine. I get that. I'm cool with that. I'm 1000% cool. I at heart, deep down inside, I am a libertarian, and I have no problem with sex work or anything like that. But apparently, she does, because she was one for like 3 years, and now she isn't happy about it. So I don't know
what the funny thing is like most likely a lot of the I'm about to get myself in trouble. So I won't say it. I just know that when they were younger, they were more promiscuous.
Okay, I get what you're saying. All right.
Yeah. I mean, come on now.
Let's listen to the worst fake cry you've ever heard in your life.
Again. This is just where, if you let me serve as your rock bottom, your starting
if you
place.
Cry, don't cry.
Don't
like if you can't cry, don't do it.
Stop being disingenuous.
Right. Just tell your story. You don't have to cry, right?
For building so that this doesn't happen to somebody else. And that was just one day within almost 3 years of time. That's not what NDAs are designed for. And given that, as I spoke on the 19th,
and you know what? We're giving her a lot of heat right now. Let me speak on Vince McMahon for a second. I bet he could have taken care of this in 5 minutes. And it would have ended up costing him a whole lot less money. Because I bet she could have been paid off easily. And I think, maybe as a man, Vince, there's something to the idea of not, obviously, your wife and your daughter are going to not, like you anymore. But
Right.
look at how this has damaged their reputations and careers. Maybe not Linda so much, but Stephanie definitely. Stephanie's not where she was when this all happened.
Mhm.
And Shane, I mean, I like maybe the best move if you're Vince is just to pay her off 4 years ago and don't let it get this far. And then he'd still, I mean, I don't that seems weird to me too. Is why didn't Vince just be like, okay, here, let's give all this money to,
We could talk about what ifs. But I bet you if you ask the person, God.
I was just gonna say the chat asked, Vince is gone. Who cares now? He's gone. But if a former president is accused of this, and you would expect the news to talk about it, and this is a former person who ran WWE, it's not like he doesn't. It's not like the fact that he's being accused of this means that he hasn't been the biggest name in wrestling for the last 40 years. It's definitely a wrestling-based story. So yeah, we're going to talk about it. Anyway, go ahead. Awful.
No. I we're making it topical because we are kind of tracking. Excuse me. We're kind of tracking the downward trajectory of her story, her impact on what's going on with Vince McMahon. As it stands now, I was just going to say, we can talk about hypotheticals all you want. But if we were to point to anybody in that audience in SmackDown or on Raw and ask them who Janelle Grant was, they wouldn't know who the fuck she was. So how deep is her impact? How big is her impact on, getting Vince? Did Vince McMahon, pull the trigger on his own self too quickly? You could have beat this. This is easily beatable.
I think Vince was going to be gone one way or another, honestly.
True.
But he could have gone out in a lot better situation. And
that's what I'm saying. You bring out Vince McMahon on Raw next Monday. That motherfucker, they will be throwing babies. All right.
I don't know, dude.
Women will be giving birth.
Remember
fucking the whole crowd would blow up. There would not be no Hulk Hogan reception. He would get cheered.
There would be, but you know what? It wouldn't be because of this. It would be because of Trump.
Nope.
They just, I don't think the normies care about this, but I do think the normies are like, he's evil Republican guy, so, I also think, honestly, if I'm being 100%,
more pictures of Triple H and Trump than there are Vince and Trump.
Yeah, but Vince is connected. Honestly, I don't think the audience would care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the current WWE audience knows.
Precisely.
I don't know, but you said they'd be throwing babies at him. I'm saying I think there would be nothing. I don't think they'd care. I think they'd be like, "Oh, he's a legend! Yay!"
Let that music play. Let that fucking thing. No chance, because that's what you.
I just don't know, man. I don't know. And also, who cares? Okay, I'll tell you what, one person wouldn't be happy, me, because Vince McMahon was the last thing I wanted to see on my TV in 2016. If I see him in 2026, I don't whatever, dude. Vince McMahon, by the time he's he has nothing left to give to wrestling. Nothing left. That man gave everything he had, and more power to him. But I do wish he could have gone out better. I'll say that. I don't know if he deserved better, because I do think he's probably a shitty guy, but I think he could have gone out better.
Things happened before I actually filed a lawsuit. If you enacted even some safeguards, arguably speaking, you would not only be protecting me, but you would actually have something more reliable for the other person entering into an NDA.
Did they put this woman in an arm bar to sign this NDA? Because I believe the lawyer says later on in this whole thing, she says, the intimidation tactics don't have to be loud and obvious. They could be as simple as, "Hey, you signed an NDA." She actually says this. And it's just like, yeah, you signed an NDA. Case closed. Sorry, I didn't make the fucking rules, and neither did she, nor did Vince McMahon. So what are we talking about here? You're trying to annul your specific NDA, and you hope and believe that other people who signed NDAs and continuously got harassed or intimidated after the fact.
When did she sign the NDA?
Say again?
When did she sign the NDA?
That I'm not sure. Great question.
Because there is a difference, in my opinion, between signing an if she signed the NDA when she started, and let's hypothetically say that everything she says is true to a T, right? If she signed the NDA before she started, I think she has an argument to make to where there's no way she could have signed that NDA expecting for what happened to have happened, right?
Right.
But if she signed the NDA after, or at some point post that while this was going on, she has no case, in my opinion.
She's got no case regardless of the timeline in which she signed this NDA. She signed the NDA.
Yeah.
Now, if she signed it while she was on fucking Xanax or goddamn E-pills or something like that, in which there was some sort of coercion involved, and why did she sign the fucker?
Right, Erica says that it was after Vince started paying her. So okay, that changes. Yeah, then yes, then I totally agree with you, Aewful. I have no issue with what you're saying.
I mean, my God.
I mean, if it's just a standard thing that you sign when you start working for the company, then
wasn't that
right? But then I understand how you can sign that NDA. You obviously don't expect to be treated that way, and then later you can not necessarily try to break the NDA, but fight for a law that will, like what this hearing is about, right? It's
right.
about making new law. So you want to argue that and all that, that's fine. But she signed it after she was already getting paid. So what are you gonna? She has no case in my opinion. But I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer.
Gifts,
what's that?
To keep her mouth shut.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you don't pay him to stay; you pay him to leave.
Otherwise, as my situation would demonstrate, they are completely unreliable, and whatever you think that they do or don't do, the one related to me is just firing off in all directions. But again, I use that visual because that is in my complaint.
She got that Sean Ross Sapp snort going on there. You know what I'm saying?
The only thing she didn't lean to the side, get off camera.
It's also just in the middle of a work day.
Thank you. And I know it's hard to share these stories.
During lunch.
But it's important. And I do think the only way to stop this kind of this assault going forward is really to make sure that people in your position do have rights and are able to pursue those rights. I know that we had testimony a few minutes ago from the CHRO. I would encourage you, since you're all here, to have some conversation about where your
the next 5 hours are devoted to making sure that people are able to get proper soap in the stalls at their workplace. Some other shit, but yeah.
Well, apparently I had it worse, 60-40. I won in terms of what we had to watch today.
Okay.
So, well, we have a decision to make, Aewful. We have already gone over 2 hours, and we could hypothetically, we could do a show next week and already have it completely planned out and ready to go. Because we could do T-Boy Wrestling and then our debate. Because we have argued a lot on this show already.
Kinda.
The chat has brought it up multiple times. So, but I'm leaving it in your hands. I can hang out. It's up to you, bud.
All
what
right.
do you think?
I'm going to leave it in the chat's hands.
You want to poll them?
Yeah, poll them. Let's poll them. Do they want to hear the Danhausen debate tonight? Or would they like to wait?
Well,
until
but they're
next
gonna.
week.
If you're in the audience, you don't care. You want to do it next week. I mean, you want to do it now, right?
No. I mean,
I'm thinking as a show, we've already. They don't have to work tomorrow. Awful.
That's true.
So that's why I'm saying
that's true.
That's why I'm leaving it up to you.
Listen. So I will say this: how about we do, 2 minutes each. Each person kind of like teases what their argument is going to be. because I think
Okay.
I said, I'll start my 2 minutes now.
Do you have a timer?
Say again? Not
Do you
really.
have-
I'm gonna eyeball it, and I kind of, I'm usually good at hitting the post.
I can bring up a timer. I can bring. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right.
Go ahead.
That's right. That shitty timer from Tuesday. Yeah. Quite frankly, they are what I'd like to call forced organically pushing Danhausen. I think that WWE, I think I said this before, WWE and Triple H knew and heard in real time the response to Danhausen's debut in WWE. From there, they went full force to the point where they kind of completely forgot about a guy named Powerhouse Hobbs, or as they call him, Royce Keys, and pushed Danhausen right in front of our faces. Now, of course, we know they're not pushing the entire shows with Danhausen, but he's getting, he's getting clippable moments that can be broadcast on the IWC, and all the social media, networks and all that shit. Okay. So they're pushing him in a way where it's just like, we're going to make those who thought his debut in WWE was bullshit, and we're going to turn those people's hearts. And I guess for the last 2 weeks, they've been doing quite a good job of doing that. And it's kind of making me look like an idiot, but I still have strong evidence to suggest that our boy Danhausen is not lasting past the 6-month mark, at least in this capacity. Your thoughts?
Okay, well, I do appreciate the fan fiction that you wrote for that argument. Awful.
All right.
But the the fact is that if you watch the shows leading up to it, so the first week that they showed the box, I was like, oh, cool, they're doing the box thing. That's fun, old school, that's Jericho. But they shat all over that box for the next 2 weeks. And by virtue of the way they treated the box, by virtue of the fact, like Adam Pearce said, oh gosh, just send it to SmackDown. And then Nick Aldis goes, I don't want it, send it back to Raw. And then they go, let's do it to get whatever. And then when they were doing nothing to make you feel like this was a big deal. And then when Danhausen came out, the announcers did not sell it as if it was a big deal. And then the next night on Raw, this was, I don't see where you could look at the way they built this and think that this was supposed to be a big, huge thing and that they wanted him to be the next big superstar. The entire time they were building this, it was always going to be for a goofy character that will sell merch and work with the Miz and R-Truth, and he will take tsunamis. And it's working. Danhausen is talented. Danhausen has he's not a talented wrestler. I'm not gonna say he needs to be in matches all the time, but he's definitely a talent. He has something to give. People like him, and the thing that he has to give is a lot of money in merch. That man will sell a lot of merchandise. He will sell a lot of figures. He will sell a lot of t-shirts. He already is selling a lot of t-shirts. When they put him in the game, he'll sell a lot of DLC. And it's going to appeal to an audience that may not even like WWE, but will still buy the Danhausen stuff because they were doing it before Danhausen was in AEW. They were doing it while he was in AEW. AEW, he was the top merchandise seller in AEW for a year when he wasn't on television.
Right.
The man's going to pay for his contract by that alone. But he attracts like this hipster, post-ironic LA queer scene. And he also attracts guys like me who grew up watching The Simpsons and Mystery Science Theater 3000 and that kind of stuff. It's something that I understand. If it's not in your world, I understand. But it's also a thing that there's things in WWE I don't like either, and I'm not going to sit here and yell about it all day because I know it's not for me. But I think that in terms of what they hired him for, I think they're going to be very happy with their return.
Okay. Multi-year deal.
Multi-year deal, yeah.
What do you think that is? 3, you said?
I think 3. I think it's 3. Jake said that, I believe. If it's wrong, blame Jake. I'm not sure that he said that.
Yeah, might have been Jake.
Sounds like something Jake would say. because that when I hear that in my head, I just hear Jake telling me that. But yeah, I mean that's my basis. The chat really wants us to keep going in on this. Do you want to just do it? You want to just get it out, get it done with? Guess not. All right. I think we lost Aewful again. So, of course we did. Okay, then that pretty much makes the choice for us.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can. Yeah. So
I said I got no problem doing it. I mean, but I do want to concede, like I think I did earlier. If I did, I probably did a bad job doing it. But I want to concede, like the Danhausen forced push is working. It's work now. Will it work 6 months from now? They already tried to place him in a spot where it's just like he has a future, at least in the next 3 months, with Dominic Mysterio as he cursed him. And so
that's not a spot. Did you see him on SmackDown? His spot's on SmackDown. Did you see what he's doing on SmackDown?
Yeah, I did not see him on that particular
Mizhausen. Miz has been trying to find somebody to mentor forever, and Nick Aldis goes, "Here, take this guy," and he gave him Danhausen. So now Miz has to mentor Danhausen.
All right, not bad.
So yeah, yeah, I imagine that they're going to be a tag
But don't
team.
invest in Danhausen because you want to do a switcheroo on like the people who don't like Danhausen. Just do Danhausen like you were always going to do Danhausen. Like I'll just never forget the moment that Triple H went on there and was just like, "Hey, Danhausen, he's quite a guy, isn't he? He's a lot of fun, isn't he?" It's just like, ugh. I mean, come on now. Can we breathe for a second and figure out like what the fuck you just tried to present to us? Like, don't, like, come on now. I don't know.
See, but I mean, when you say stuff like that, though, you're kind of getting lost in the IWC, right? We keep saying that like the internet stuff doesn't matter. 99% of people in the world didn't. 99% of WWE fans didn't see
the owner of the owner. Sorry.
Forgive
my ignorance. The creative king over there deliberately scoped out a reporter. I wish I knew her name because she's kind of good, and made it exclusively for social media. It didn't play on Raw or SmackDown.
True.
So I'm saying that Triple H shouldn't even have done anything like that. Don't even acknowledge that shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, it seems like you're a little insecure there, Triple H. Like, it only took 10 minutes for you to fucking hop on social media, kind of like somebody else we know, Tony Khan, and like try to.
He didn't. That's not what happened.
Right.
He talked about it on the post show, and then that clip got posted to social media by the WWE social media team. It's not like Triple H was grabbing his phone and going, no, I need to talk about this. Like he got asked a question on the post show, and
so he did it in a different way, but it's the same energy, same aura.
Well, you were just comparing him. You were acting like he did the same stuff. Tony Khan literally grabs his phone and tweets every single thing.
All right, so Triple H has an intern do it. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it's the same rules. Like you see the reaction, you saw what was going on, and you were like, I've got to say something. I got to say something. Why don't you take your own advice and just enjoy the ride, dude? Don't tell us all the fucking time to enjoy the ride. Don't tell us like
you just really hate Triple H, don't you?
No, not at all.
I feel like I'm talking to Kevin Apollo right now.
No. I'm just starting to realize like all the things that I've seen with my own eyes. Forget what the IWC has been saying. Like in the few times that I've seen Triple H operate, he's operated in this way. I've not seen any counterpoint.
He's operating as someone who's trying to be the face and the leader of the company.
You don't even have to do that. I see
Vince
more
McMahon would have been out in the middle of the ring dancing with Danhausen.
No,
okay, I don't want to. Yes, he would have
that nonsense.
And are you kidding me? Vince McMahon in 2000, in the year of our Lord 2026. Do you remember what he was doing before he left? When he was having Austin Theory chasing Egg, you're telling me Vince McMahon would have been all over that stuff, dude.
Oh God,
that's what he was doing.
listen, you're not understanding my point of view. You're trying to put it in with what the IWC,
because you're making the same arguments they do.
No,
you're making the exact same.
Okay,
argument.
well, guess what? Then it looks like the IWC may be onto something. Okay, because from what I see from Triple H, it's just like, I think we talked about this in the back chat. It's just like this catering to the IWC, or at least.
What are you're okay?
I'm not talking about their storylines on television. I'm talking about like them trying to play into what the IWC is doing, whereas you don't even have to just ignore the IWC. God damn it, Triple H.
But you're telling him. What you're basically telling him at this point is that he can't post on Twitter, which is the #1 social media network in the world. Like that's promotion
on Twitter.
Then what does he do? If he can't come on Twitter and say, "Look at our new guy," how is saying that playing into the IWC? Isn't that what a boss does?
Yes. What I'm telling you is what I saw with my own eyes. This is my hardest evidence that I've got. Danhausen got shitted on online for his debut. Within a half hour, Triple H went online through social media and was
he does
just
it
like
for everyone who. I'm sorry.
Okay. Show me where he's done it for anyone else.
Go look at after the Royal Rumble when he did it with Royce Keys, or after Obafemi showed up when he did it with every time somebody shows up
Royce
on TV.
Keys didn't get a negative reaction.
No, but he got a picture, right? But if he would have, then you would have said Triple H just went on social media.
He does that. I know he does that with everybody. That's not what I'm talking about. The man did an interview.
It was the post show. It was the post
show, right?
He talks about everybody on the post show. Awful.
Okay, and he particularly tried to dress up Danhausen.
I'm so confused. I'm just so confused by what it's all. Every post, like he did the exact. They just didn't pull the clip and put it on social media for Royce Keys, but he did the exact same thing with Royce Keys at Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Every time someone did, like, that's what the post show is.
So what I said before any of this is that I'm also losing this debate simply by way of how they're pushing Danhausen. All right. And my personal view is that they're pushing Danhausen to keep someone like me who thought the entire debut of Danhausen and his whole gimmick. You're trying to convince, you're going out of your way to convince me that this guy belongs in WWE. What does he belong as? Oh, sure, I know he needs the R-Truth role. He needs the Santino role. All I'm saying is just like, damn, that's what you're getting into wrestling for? So you can sell some shirts, kind of like what Roman Reigns said to CM Punk, like you sell some shirts, you're here to do a song and dance. But when it comes down to the bell being rung, and this is one of the few times where I'm like, yeah, wrestling does play a part. How you fucking can bring in people once you're in a wrestling ring, because that's what the WWE is. Then we'll see what he's all about. I'm giving him 6 months.
And I just think that WWE fans have a lot of overlap with AEW fans sometimes, and they don't even realize it. And it might be based on different things, but I think that you have a very set idea of what wrestling is supposed to be. I'm not talking to you, Aewful. I'm talking to WWE fans in general. I think that some of them, especially the old school fans, have a very set of idea of what wrestling is supposed to be. But WWE, if you're looking at WWE like it's like Mid-South or something, like WWE is Vince McMahon has told you for the past 40 years that WWE was a variety show. It wasn't a wrestling show. And it seems like people still want it to be a wrestling show. Right? But like it's a show that includes wrestling, but I don't look at it as a wrestling show anymore. And I would not. So back when I grew up, we had complete
horseshit.
Back when we grew up, dude, we had Jameson on our televisions. We had Harvey Whippleman. We had Kimchi. We had,
managers. Okay, Santino, when it came down to
Brother
it,
Love
could go. When R-Truth, when it came down to it, he could go. Okay, and name any other clown in the wrestling business that couldn't go. Danhausen is something very new that, yes, and I do understand it. It's not that I'm old and don't understand. No, I understand post-ironic humor and all of that. I mean, goddamn it, I'm a Gen Xer. Danhausen is emulating our comedy, our culture,
right.
our aura. So let's quit fucking around. I know what Danhausen is supposed to be. I just don't understand his place in the WWE out. Like, okay, make him a general manager. Put him as the general manager of fucking of NXT.
No, dear God.
Now we found why you had Ava in that bitch. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
And I hated that too.
Okay, but you wouldn't like Danhausen doing it?
No.
Because that's the only purpose I see him serving. Can he go 2 minutes in the fucking ring where it's going to be entertaining?
He
We're
just
going to find out.
Okay, how many times do we sit here and talk about how, man, I really wish they had jobbers, and then they hire somebody who could be a jobber, and they're like, I hate those jobbers. Like, make up your mind, dude. What do you want?
I don't argue that point. Again,
you said they should make an entire show of just matches where the guys beat jobbers.
No. Stop right there. I said AEW should do that.
No, you didn't. You said WWE. You said You said Obafemi would look a whole lot better if they had a place where they could go fight jobbers. You said that like 2 weeks ago on this show.
What? If I did, I did not mean for the entire company to fucking do squash matches. I know specifically I would like to see AEW do that because that breeds character development. That lets you know the move sets and all the fucking other things that you need to know about a professional wrestler in a 3-minute, 5-minute squash match. If you do it week after week after week. As far as Danhausen, I mean, I see in his future a feud with Dominic Mysterio.
No.
Based on, sorry, my friend, I'm just telling you what I saw. I saw him get cursed by Danhausen, and I saw him lose the Intercontinental Championship. Now you're going to tell me that 2 and 2 don't equal 4?
Yeah, because he's on SmackDown with The Miz.
Doesn't fucking matter. When did that ever matter?
They're gonna. It was a joke that they made, and it's like,
okay.
I just think that I look. Here's what you want to know what Danhausen's role is going to be? Danhausen's role is going to be the guy who goes backstage. He might be in a tag team that picks up some wins, some fluke wins every once in a while because of the other guy in the tag team. That could very possibly happen. He might beat the Motor City Machine Guns or Fraxium or God forbid, he might beat, or like he might be in a tag team, excuse me, that beats the MFTs or something like that. That might happen, and it's probably going to be because of the other guy, and they'll do the thing where he curses, and then he'll think that it was because of him, but the other guy, it's going to be jokey shit. But here's what Danhausen's reason is going to be, and I keep saying taking tsunamis, but I mean it, because what you do is you're getting people to care about him through laughing at him. They did it for R-Truth, and they're going to be doing it for Danhausen. His job is going to be getting hurt by the champions. His job is going to be developing heels. He's going to get other heels over by being the one that gets beat up. That's his place. And he can take a bump. He can take, look at, do you know what the biggest problem with Spike Dudley was? They tried to make him a wrestler. Spike Dudley was at its best when he was getting thrown three aisles into the crowd.
Right, but because he had a great amateur background, he knew how to take those bumps.
And Danhausen can bump.
All right, we're going to see about that.
You don't think he can bump?
I don't think he can work. It isn't that part of the whole idea of professional wrestling at some point? At some point. I'm not talking about at its core, but I'm talking about at some point. Don't you want to fucking get behind a guy who can go instead of being a punching bag?
The biggest heel, the second biggest heel in the company when I started watching was Brother Love.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It's the truth, right?
Mike's still on, right? Keep talking. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. So what are you saying, that Brother Love was only good because he had a strong amateur background and could put on good matches with the top guys in the company, or?
Brother Love was a WWE Vince creation from the ground up. The man did not do indie work. Okay.
Sure he did. He worked in Texas.
Oh, fuck.
He did.
See, this is one of those actually.
I am.
Okay. And if you're looking for actually guys, you found them right here on This Is Awful. But I'll tell you what, I'm not one of those actually guys.
But you're saying stuff that just is not true. So, I have to correct.
No. I'm not
in a debate.
You brought up Brother Love. I didn't bring him up.
Right, but you said that he didn't
I'm
have
not comparing Danhausen to Brother Love. You are. I'm comparing Danhausen. Excuse me.
But why? Why wouldn't you compare him to Brother Love?
Because Brother Love is not a wrestler. He was not bought. He did not come out of a box. First off, okay.
Are you sure? He might have come out of a box. Actually, I don't remember.
He also introduced the Undertaker.
Okay.
All right. That's something. And he wasn't portrayed as a total fucking goof. A lot of
Brother Love wasn't portrayed as a goof.
Right? Yeah. A lot of major storylines went down on his show. Okay. So you had to give him some sort of weight to be as being a character. You brought up Brother Love, not me.
I'm fine with my Brother Love argument. I think it's perfect, and I don't understand why you don't see the. I think you're dancing. I think you're dancing around in circles trying to find a way that it doesn't work.
I'm saying that it won't work. I'm making a prediction, but what I'm also saying is that I'm
saying my comparison doesn't work.
Oh, it doesn't.
It absolutely does. It 1000% does. What? Okay, if it doesn't work, here's my point. If it doesn't work, that means that you think Danhausen is a much bigger deal than I do. Because what I see Danhausen,
they're going to make him a much bigger deal than what we all think he is. Now that's the nature of the beast. That's what they're supposed to do. But
what do you think his ceiling is, Awful? What do you think they think his ceiling is?
To be there 3 years, to make lighthearted fare and to sell some shirts, and to possibly put some mask on and all that. But they're going to force him to be in some sort. Listen, they're going to try to make this work. Of course they are. I know that, but I just don't think it will. How about that? I just don't think it will. Just like the Wyatt Six, I couldn't really put a finger on why the Wyatt Six wasn't working. It has to.
What's your definition of working?
Being major players. How about
But what's a major player?
Fuck it, goddammit. Being in.
Am I doing the debate bro shit now? Did I end up doing the debate bro shit?
No. At least being in the mid card of WrestleMania within at least 5 fucking years. How about that? If you want to talk about
mid-card of WrestleMania for 5 years.
Say again?
Mid-card of WrestleMania for 5 years.
No. Being at least a mid-carder in the next 5 years on a WrestleMania. At least being in an afternoon match. Are the Wyatt Six going to be at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
And if they are,
maybe not. They might be on SmackDown. They might be on the SmackDown before WrestleMania. But I don't.
That's a metric.
I think we have far different metrics of success, because I look at the Wyatt Six and I say, yeah, you know what? I mean, their stories aren't great, whatever, but they are selling just as much merchandise as LA Knight, and they still get a huge reaction from the crowd. And who am I to say that they're not good when this many people think they are? Okay. And that's the way I look at it. And I look at Danhausen and I say, you know what? I liked Danhausen before he went into AEW. And I was excited when he went to AEW because I was an AEW fan at that time. And I did not like what AEW did with Danhausen. And I kind of blamed that on Danhausen. And I realized over the next few years that I think I might have been misplacing my, thing. But yeah, the White Six I think they're going to be in the ladder match this year, by the way. But because I think it's going to be a lantern above the ring, and they're going to do the ladder with that. But yeah, I think that I think that you have an outdated definition of success, Awful, because
Okay.
I'll
rock with that.
Because I look at who am I to say that Hacksaw Jim Duggan wasn't successful, or who am I to say that the Bushwhackers weren't successful, or because these are guys that barely broke the lower card, like maybe got to lower mid card. Hacksaw got with Hogan, he got a little higher, but Bushwhackers definitely. Who there's countless people that I have.
The
great
Bushwhackers
of.
never won the tag team championship.
No, the
Right.
Killer Bees.
Right.
But who am I to say that they aren't successful when I have fantastic memories of them? I enjoyed them when I was younger. What
Give me a
is
memory of the Bushwhackers?
A memory of the Bushwhackers? Remember when they dressed up when them and I believe it was Men on the Mission came out in the Doink makeup, and they at Survivor Series because they were the Doinks. Do you remember that?
You hear that, Luke?
Do you remember when he
crown the
do you remember when they had Jameson as their man? But okay, is it something to be
Jameson as their manager?
Yeah.
Yes. I do remember that.
But let's think.
Such
Okay,
memories.
but why? But you're acting like that's not something to be proud of. But they've stuck in my memory for 40 years or 35 years. So why is that not something to be proud of? Just because they didn't get to be. See, this is what I'm talking about with the IWC.
With
this is what
Danhausen, the juice will not be worth the squeeze.
I think it already is.
I know, because it's been 6 days in. We're 6 days into this thing. Already we're crowning him as a success.
So but like I think that you have a misguided view of what successful is in wrestling. In my mind, I wouldn't say I think that if you end up on WWE television for any amount of time, compared to the 99% of other wrestlers in the world who never get that opportunity, you're already up to a point where you're successful. And so
I lose the argument because Danhausen is successful because he made it to the WWE. How about that?
I'm not saying you lose the argument. I don't think either of us lose the argument. These are opinions. Right? I mean,
we'll see it 6 months from now.
Yeah.
We'll see how his first match goes, because that's what you're in WWE for. Unless you want to put a mic in his fucking hand and call him an announcer. So far, you're selling him as a wrestler. Just so you know.
Right. And
point,
Boris,
the bell is going to ring.
Boris says, "This loves WWE so much. I love watching it with my child and him." But I will.
And there
say,
it is.
Yeah. But have I ever?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have I ever shied away from that?
The big consideration,
right?
Like you are a fan of that fucking product.
I'm not. No, I am a fan of the enjoyment that product gives my child. There are things.
That it gives you.
I'd
rather be arguing with Max.
Okay, I mean, I've said how many times do I have to clarify? I have to. If I come on here and just bitch about the stuff I don't like all the time, then I'm going to be a very negative person. So I try to make myself more positive because we have plenty of negativity in this area. If you want me to sit here and complain about stuff, we can talk about Damian Priest or Sami Zayn or half the women's division or what they've done with Bayley or all this. I can keep going on this stuff, but But I have to stay excited about the product because I want to be excited for Max. And if I put myself down in that area where I'm just talking about it being bad all the time, then all I'm going to do
right now.
No, all I'm going to do is, but I have to keep myself in the mindset. Period. And also, I like being a positive person. I enjoy that. I like it. It's like I'll go on. If you want to see negative me, you can go on Twitter and look at that. I'm a little bit more negative there, but I like being a positive person when I talk to my friends. I like it. I don't want to be grumpy. That's why I don't watch AEW, because AEW just makes me angry all the time. But that's the entire feeling of the show. That's what they want. Is they want people to be angry. It's what it feels like. It's a very negative product.
Are you saying that I do that?
No, I don't. No, I think that you are if you had a kid, I think you'd be kind of more like me.
I do have
obviously.
a kid. What's the matter with you?
You think you had a kid who watched wrestling and was 12 years old, Yeah. I mean, it's just they're. What do you want me to say?
My kid would be the most he'd be like, Dad, who the fuck is Nyla Rose? Like, what the hell's going on with this? Tell me about the.
And by the way, I think that I'm more in touch with WWE's target audience than most people here, actually, honestly, because of that.
Yeah, I just believe that Danhausen. He doesn't work for me. I understand who he's for. We talk about this shit all the time. Like,
I know
we know we
do this for fun. We're not mad at each other. I mean,
but,
shit.
Ultimately, I just don't think that this. Like, I think they're going to. This is going to be buyer's remorse. He's going to hit a plateau at some point. Like, you can't. Like, is he going to be a layered professional wrestler, or is he just going to be this guy who's constantly backstage and it's just like, oh, we figured you out?
Yeah, that's probably what it'll be.
Terrible. What a way.
What's wrong with that, though?
No, not for Danhausen. Danhausen's gonna make bank, but it's just like it doesn't help the wrestling business at all. And it's just
But WWE doesn't care about helping the wrestling business. They care about business. They don't care about.
Oh, I hope enough people fucking disregard the product when they think it sucks and kind of boycott it, because that's the only way that any of these companies are going to change anything. You keep doling out this big money for their modeling events, and they're going to continue just doing modeling fare. But if you don't show up to their fucking things, they're going to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, and honestly, if you don't like the product, absolutely don't support it, 100%. But the thing is, I don't think it matters, because I don't think we're their audience anymore.
So what we just said doesn't matter? Like, what?
No, I think it matters to us, but I think that to them, I don't think like Triple H would be listening to this and go, that awful wrestling and disc. That's a really good point. I think that they would be far more interested in hearing Max's opinion than ours. And at some point,
Max is going to become 18 to 45 at some point.
He will.
God willing. And he's going to be spending money.
Yeah.
Hopefully on their product. And they're going to want to keep him.
Yeah. But they're going to keep him. They're not going to keep him by becoming a dark, edgy product. They're not going to keep him by making things less fun and making things more serious. Like, what they're doing right now is they're making lifelong fans. And they're making fans who will make other fans in the future. Like, here's how I look at it. Right now, WWE is where they were, is equivalent to like WWF in 1989. That's where I think they are. And I think they need to be very careful over the next few years so they don't slip down to that new generation place that they were, I think in about 5 or 6 years, they're going to start getting edgier. I also think you could probably compare this to like Ruthless Aggression, which is funny because after both eras, they screwed up badly, right? So it'll be
charm.
It'll be really interesting to see what they do after this, because if this could write, we don't know, because it was Vince before and it's not Vince now. So we have no idea what's going to happen here at this point. But I enjoy having these conversations with you, Aewful. I will say that. And I'm glad that the chat didn't think we were fighting. A lot of times they think we hate each other when we start doing that. So
no, they don't.
They do.
You give the chat a little credit.
I have seen a lot of people leave our not. I will say it's more Toonie Talk than this. I think it might be some of the normies that listen to Toonie Talk that don't like don't like it when we get arguing and stuff. But yeah. Also, Ewan doesn't like it. I know Ewan doesn't like it, but he left earlier. So,
he
yeah, he said
catch
he
you on the replay, Ewan.
said he wasn't feeling well. So we hope you're doing all right, Ewan, if you're listening.
Yeah.
To this.
Don't die on us, man.
Oh God, no! Please, we need that $4.99 a week. Come on, man. And we need
He
someone.
said it, not me. See, this is more Jewish than I am.
That's a joke. The joke. Also, because he mods for us too. Look, we got likes. People are hearting that. They loved it. They were so happy with my comment that they started hitting like. 100, 100, like, 100, 100, like. They loved it.
Yeah, I did want to say before we close out of here that we were highly prepared for this particular show, more so than usual because what happened last week. Things got in the way. Things happened, and I was kind of caught unawares, and with my pants down, and kind of did a in my personal opinion, a fucking terrible show last week. And I hope that this week we were able to bring that old time magic back with this returning, and us having a lot of things to talk about. We still have a lot of things. Like our drive is loaded with topics that we still have yet to get to. But
and I do want to say, if that came out, Ewan, I was absolutely joking. I don't want you to think that I was saying that.
Damn, man. Sometimes you got to let things breathe.
I just want to
build some heat on yourself.
No,
okay.
That's me. I'm sorry. I don't.
It's not like he's going to unsubscribe.
I don't care if he unsubscribes. I don't want to.
I do.
Like Ewan.
Fuck you.
I like Ewan. He's my friend. Oh, Ewan's here. So no, I like Ewan Cubia. And he's one of the few people that we can kind of give crap to. But
Ewan's a nice guy.
Hey, and if you think that I'm disingenuous about some of my opinions or whatever, then go ahead. Or if you think that I'm a shill, whatever. I think that I do pretty well as you wouldn't want me being negative, right? Like, isn't that kind of the thing, right? Like,
just be real.
Yeah.
If it comes out more negative this week than it did last week or whatever, that doesn't equate to you being negative.
No, but I'm saying I would have to force myself to be negative, is what I'm saying. I would have to force myself.
To what end?
What?
To what end? Why would you be negative?
I said, I could find things that I dislike and specifically pull them out and talk about them. I just usually don't think they're worth talking about.
Who does that?
Lots of people. We do.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Well, I don't know. I know them not. And by the way, I see Alt Jake takes on in the chat. Listen, Jake nor Chris Connor are to be blamed for the performance of last week's show. That was all me.
It was me. More than anything.
It was all this.
Yeah, I'll take the blame on that one.
But no. I mean, they helped me out in ways that I could not have possibly done the show by myself. So I deeply thank them and for showing up and supporting the show at that point. The reason why I believe it was low rated is because I was just unprepared. Period. Point blank. I know you guys like a prepared show. We did our best this week. I think we did a phenomenal effort. If we can pat ourselves on the back, if only this one time.
All right. Yeah. I think we had a good show tonight. I apologize that I wasn't able to be there last week, and I'll do some serious soul searching, and maybe you'll see a new more negative disc next week. Maybe I will
soul searching.
I'm gonna dye my hair black, and I'm gonna have it over my eye. I'm gonna wear mascara, and then you're gonna get emo disc next week. So
there you go.
Enjoy that.
There you go. That's what we asked. That's what we were asking for since day one.
It's what everyone apparently wants, is they want me to be all negative. So
Jenko disc.
We can sit here for another hour, and I can complain about Sami Zayn if you want.
No, please don't do that. I can't even complain about Danhausen that long. I just do want to say to the chat, like, I watched 3 of Danhausen's matches when he was on the independent circuit. He fucking sucks. Okay.
I don't know why you do that.
He sucks as an in-ring performer. That's why I'm like, okay, we'll see about this first match. Okay. They're going to put him in there with Dominic Mysterio and fucking it's going to Botchfest 2026. Anyway.
Yeah, and also, like, thank you, Chad. I appreciate saying, just be authentic. I really am. I mean, I am. I like talking about things that make me happy. So,
So
that's
do
why we
I.
didn't have, that's why
But
we
don't
didn't
have a show designed for that.
That's why we didn't have AEW on. That's why we don't, there's a lot of weeks we don't have AEW on the show, actually. It's because, if we can't make fun of it, then what's the point? And
who wants to watch me cooking?
Yeah,
fishing.
Exactly. Hey, we are going to do that fishing show though.
Building greenhouses.
Remember, in like 20 years.
Oh
yeah, awful.
It
on
won't
the
be
lake.
20 years. God damn it, we'll be dead.
I will be. I will be for sure.
But
yeah, we're gonna
next,
be out on the lake doing
year
fishing shows.
That'd be
Yeah,
all
we'll
right.
get there. We'll get there. All right. Make sure you're hanging out with us on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time. Jake will join us there. You can follow him if you look up Alt Jake Takes On YouTube or Twitter. You will find his show. And Toonie Talk Wrestling is on, of course, Toonie Town Wrestling, which is at Toon Wrestling. So we will be there 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. Awful. What do you got?
Hey, you can check me out on Twitter. I don't know why anymore. They've been fucking me for the last 6 months. But anyway, yeah, you can check me out on Twitter, x.com at Awful Wrestling. And you can check me out here on YouTube every Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. I wish I knew universal time code because I do it for all the time zones. But yeah, this is Awful. Every week, every Saturday, until somebody needs rescuing. And nothing. Yeah, nothing. I'm not. Sometimes you gotta just let the music play and let the joke die a death. But yes, you check me out on Twitter and on YouTube. You can also check me out on Toonie Talk Wrestling. We've been having a conversation in the back chat because listen, it's an open secret. The show is changing, so we want to change along with it. Possibly a name change. Did I say too much this, or am I letting the cat out of the bag?
I mean, we will change. We will see where things go with it. We would say Toonie Talk Wrestling will say what you expect from Toonie Talk Wrestling, but yeah, it might look a little different. I'll say, so that's all right. Hello. Yes. Awful disappeared again right at the end. Yeah, but this week we will be over on Toonie Talk Wrestling.
Fuck Yeti Nano. Don't buy any of their fucking products. Don't buy anything from Yeti. Don't buy their tumblers. Don't buy their coolers. Don't buy their microphones. I don't even know if those are the same companies. Probably not. But don't buy Yeti audio equipment whatsoever. I'm sorry, for interrupting.
You should get a. I have a blue snowball. It costs like $30. You should get one of those. Those work really well. So, all right. So I think that's it. Awful. You wanna lead us in?
Yeah, man. It was a great time dealing with this for 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours here. Thank you for the chat. You could be anywhere on planet Earth. You chose to be here with us, despite a pay-per-view going on that at least I didn't know anything about. And yes, I want to thank this. I want to thank Jake. I want to thank Marv, Kev, Beard, Kev. Who else? Admiral Narwhal.
That's Erica. You can say Erica. That's Erica.
Okay.
You can say Erica.
The iDags, Andre Adams, Lisa B, Ewan Cumia,
Chris for helping you last week.
Chris. Yes, Chris Connor from Last Call, JJ Alexander, Phil Marks, George Capter.
Travis. We got who else from another show? Jack Vaughn. Thank you, Jack Vaughn. Almost.
Bush.
Thank you almost Kevin Kelly.
Yeah.
And
am I getting played off the stage here? Yes, thank you guys for all being here. And we will see you all next week. Enjoy the weekend.